Good morning, I'm Eric Reeser. It took a shootout, but the Blue Jackets finally put a stop to their 6-game slide last night in Detroit. Adam Fantilli forced overtime with 16 seconds left in the third, and Zach Werenski secured the Jackets' 4-3 win, beating Red Wings netminder John Gibson for the second time Tuesday. Jackets pick up 2 points with the win and leap Detroit in the standings. Columbus still trails Ottawa by 2 points for the final wildcard spot. Senators beat the Lightning 4-2. Jackets are also 2 back of the Flyers for third in the Metro. Jackets have 4 left to play. They'll skate in Buffalo Thursday. In baseball, the Reds are 5-0 on the road for the first time since 1990. Cincinnati won in Miami last night 6-3. Yesterday in Cleveland, Brian Rocchio walked off for the Guardians in their 2-1 win over the Royals. The rubber match is today in Cleveland at 1:10. This update is sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling. Together to serve you better. Scheduled today at thewaterworks.net. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
Talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy, Austin Ward. My good buddy, Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lavery's joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Barry here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then
and
then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only 2 guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, let's do it live on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. Both the boys with you for the next 3. A little higher, lower, coming your way at 10 o'clock. 10:30, Mr. Trotter drops by, fresh off his trip to Happy Valley. Curious how the regime change is fitting in over there. It is a Hey Guys First Friday. Get your questions into the fellas at 971BFS. We can also take those in the YouTube chat. We can do those in real time on that. Get those in now. We will get to those coming up at 11 o'clock. And, of course, we will close it, as we always do, with your officially endorsed for this fine First Friday. This is, as a sports fan, this is what you want it to be. This is what it should be. This is what it should be. And if you are, there are a great many of you out there that watch a lot of Blue Jacket games. There's a great many of you, like Bake, who watch every single minute of every single Blue Jacket game. There are some of us who watch the games that we can when our schedule allows for it, with the hope that eventually you will get a chase for the fight for Lord Stanley. Because when you're involved in that, it's this coolest thing as you're going to find in sports. When you're in a series and you're playing the same team over the course of games. And if you're lucky enough and that series goes long, true hatred starts to develop between the two franchises. That's sport. On the professional level, it's as good as it gets, is when you have that. It's not always pretty. Last night was certainly not pretty. But it was one of those things that by the time I picked up from the various activities that the boys had last night, and I turn on for the start of the third period, and you're locked in for all of it. And I was. I watched it, listened to it as we were driving around picking kids up, and watched the way that it finished. And what you had was everything that you hope for in a fan, especially when it goes your way. This truly was the agony of defeat snatched away by the jaws of victory. That's really what happened last night. There were opportunities for Detroit to put this game away. Jet Greaves, and Bake, you talked about this yesterday, that core, this Blue Jackets core. I think it's important the players who were the most key in all of this, and there's a bunch of people that had massive things like Monahan getting high-sticked and losing part of his face and coming out and playing in the overtime period, those type of things. Zach, with a game winner on a skate that's kind of broken. I mean, those type of things. But Jet Greaves in net was nothing short of sensational. He had 2 saves on breakaways that one would have won it for Detroit in overtime. It would have won it, and he got a save. The Fantilli goal off of a no-look pass from Werenski, off of Monahan on the face-off, getting his stick down, which shifts it to Marchenko and to Werenski, who no-looks it to Fantilli, who's kind of been, we've all hoped, the prince who was promised, and then he's the one who buries it with 16 seconds left to get you to overtime. It wasn't a must-win last night, but as Porty put it, might ought to want to win. And if they had lost, this thing would have looked pretty grim. Not just because of what's coming and what's already happened, but just the feel of all of it. You wouldn't have been done, but it would have certainly felt like it. Fantilli buries that goal with 16 seconds left, and you get life. And if you just watch the camera that they took of his reaction to the game-tying goal, it'd tell you all you needed to see. And then it's Z, who goes out there in a shootout. By the way, he was unbelievable in the overtime. Anytime DeBrincat tried to get anywhere near the net, he just was having none of it, poked it away, got nothing. And then he gets the shootout goal to win it. It was all of the things that you want that happened to go your way. Was it nerve-wracking? God, yes. Yeah. Yes, it was. Did it feel like, oh, my God, here we go again? Yes, of course. And for one night, and this doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to do anything. It doesn't mean they're going to get in. That's still an uphill road. We've gone over the schedule ahead. It's very brutal. But for one night at least, hope gets to carry on for another day, and you get to continue to chase the 8 and be in the mix, and potentially we will look back. If this team gets the 8 seed, we will look, or God forbid even more, the 7 seed, whatever. If they get in, I do think we will look back on that play coming off of an icing on a face-off, the ball, the puck shifting to Fantilli, who buried it, and say that was the day that we found a way to get in. And it did feel like it was that type of moment last night to me.
It's like the president's speech on Independence Day. We will not go quietly into the night. You don't want to call it a must-win, fine. It was a must-not-lose, considering the opponent that you were playing with had points or was at least above you in the standings. And they got a point, and that's fine. But you're two back of two things that you want, wild card or third in the Metropolitan. Either get you into the dance. And that's all you want with this. And that's all you got 4 remaining or 5 left to play. This, for everything that had been said about Rick Bowness and the bonus bump, I think one of the best things he did when he came into the room was really challenge the players and mix things up. And he was pushing all of the right buttons. Then you get into the slide. If it had become 7 games last night, you're in DEFCON, 1 is where everybody's heads are on fire.
Yeah.
So you're able to stay that for at least a couple more days. But the idea last night, the way he changed up the lines and he challenged his players, and the players that were alphas last night are the alphas on your organization. One is the alpha, maybe one of the alphas of your organization in your franchise's history. Yeah, in Zach Werenski, and they made the plays when they were needed, and that's everything that you could have asked for as a head coach and as a fan base. Is have your guys step up in the biggest moments when you need it to keep hope alive.
If you're a Jackets fan and you're a Jackets player, you've had a lot of nights like last night go the opposite way on you. Mm-hmm. So it sure is nice when you get one of those to fall your way. Bo, I will say this, looking at everything that happened last night, because Ottawa won, because Philadelphia won. Yeah. If you lose that game last night, the season's over. Yeah. You're 4 points behind both Ottawa and Philadelphia then. You're 2 points behind Detroit. The only team that you own a tiebreaker over is Philadelphia. And it's just the mood, right? Like getting a win like that after the team meeting means something. If you lose that game after the team meeting, oh boy.
I agree.
So in hindsight, the season, if they don't get that goal in overtime, or with 16 seconds left, if Charlie Coyle doesn't get that goal to extend the shootout, the season was over last night. But now it's not. And you talked about, it was the players, it was your best players that got you there last night. Even on the first goal, Marchman did a great job of setting it up. Zach scores a goal. Fantilli scores a goal. Marchenko sure is fighting it right now. I don't know if this is something all in his head or if there's something wrong with him physically, because we saw earlier in the year he had a little bit of an injury and he wasn't the same player. Then it came back for a while, and right now he's struggling, but he gets an assist on that game-winning goal. Jet Greaves made some brilliant saves in that thing. So it was the guys that we talked about that are going to be on this team, we sure hope, for the next 8 to 10 years, they got it done.
Yeah, and it's so many. I mean, how many times was it over the other way? you want to talk about feeling deja vu all over again. Like the 2 Greaves saves, you think, okay, well, that's it. Either they score either one of those, and the overtime one obviously would have iced it in the moment. All of those faceoffs that we kept losing in the last minute of regulation just kept losing. They kept getting icing, do it again, and then Monahan gets a stick down and redirects, and Marchenko gets it, and it all worked coming out of a timeout. There were so many times in the shootout you thought you lost it twice. And so you find a way. And what does it mean? I don't know. To your point, Bake, you still got long odds. You don't have tiebreakers. You still have you're going to have to win some games here down the stretch to be able to have any sort of thing. But this one was critical, as Bake laid out. You had to have this one, and you got it. And so hope stays alive for a little bit more. You've got 4 games left to go, and you're going to need points in all of them, and probably need to win a couple of them to get in. But at least for this night, you get to keep it going for one more night, and that's the joy of all of this. But that was fun. It was nerve-wracking, but it was fun. It was fun. Very good one last night. We'll hear from the players. We will get into your Hey Guys questions, as I mentioned, coming up at 11 o'clock. Get those into the fellas. The week ahead and for the Jackets is still pretty tough when you look at what's coming down the pipe in the last 4 games for them. But we'll see if momentum can go. And if there is a such thing as momentum in hockey, there ought to be some after what happened last night. You'll hear from the principals of that coming up next. Julian Sayin, his spring check-in coming up in about 18 minutes from now. Coach Day on his quarterback. We're off and running on a First Friday. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
There's an old story about cat toys that's been retold for over 20 years because it perfectly explains who we are. This is Dennis Sullivan, president of Care Heating and Cooling. Years ago, a couple who shared their house with 3 cats had another company out to look at their furnace. After working on it, the technician said it was dangerous and had to be replaced. The couple called Care for a second opinion, and my dad Mike went out to help them. When he inspected the furnace, the cause of the problem became obvious. A cat toy had been stuffed into the heat exchanger. With the toy removed, the furnace ran perfectly. Now, how did the toy get there? You can decide for yourself, but here's what mattered then and still matters now. The first company paid commissions to their service techs to sell new furnaces. At Care, we pay our technicians to fix furnaces, not sell you a new one. And if a new furnace is needed, our team of replacement specialists will advise you on all options available and help you make your best choice. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
Coffee, sandwich, hash browns. Tired of the same breakfast routine? Time to refresh your morning ritual with a $6 Tim's Trio from Tim Hortons. It starts with a premium blend of freshly brewed coffee, a hot, savory breakfast sandwich made with freshly cracked eggs, and for a tasty twist, a daily baked donut to sweeten the deal. Ask for the $6 Tim's Trio. Your morning ritual refreshed. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer. Medium coffee only. Terms apply.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters, while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at HindererMotorCompany.com.
The weather in Central Ohio just got better, so why shouldn't your loan rate? CME Federal Credit Union wants to try to beat your current loan rate by 2% on autos and toys. Plus, no payments for 90 days on car loans and 60 days on motorcycles, boats, and more. Go to CMEFCU.org today.
Sun, splashes, and nonstop fun await at Zoombezi Bay.
Get your season pass for unlimited thrills,
including our all-new conservation tower. Buy now at ZoombeziBay.com.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube, along with those fake YouTube ads like Chew This Gum and It Grows New Teeth. Experience the splendor of Bo sitting in his closet, Timmy Hall's gouty gold chains, and Matty Ice wearing a coat in 90-degree weather. It's all there. Head to YouTube and subscribe today.
I'm Meredith Garfalo, meteorologist at 10 TV News This Morning, and I'm an Ohio girl. I love golf, aerospace, and all things Ohio sports. For nearly 20 years, I've studied the patterns that shape our days, from winter wonders on the south side to dangerous storms along the I-71 corridor. When the weather changes, you'll be the first to know, because you need a forecast that moves as fast as you do. Make the move to 10 TV News This Morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or give us a call and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Plenty of sunshine as we go into the day today, with highs getting in the mid to low 60s. And then for tonight, not as cold overnight with mostly clear skies and lows in the mid to upper 40s. For Thursday, we'll see more sunshine and breezy winds, and daytime highs soar in the mid to upper 70s. So get out there and enjoy the beautiful weather. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Common man, a radio veteran, has a large hemorrhoid. Timmy Hall, a good, clean boy, moonlights as man's hemorrhoid. Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan. Taking the art of sports radio and day drinking to a whole new level. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Hearing Meredith in the update there, she's the rocket girl, right? The NASA photos are pretty incredible. Like you want to feel small, like those photos of truly the dark side of the moon, like looking back at Earth. That's just incredible stuff. And I think I talked about this last week. That was such a big deal when I was a kid. Like everybody wanted to be an astronaut. Everybody. And I don't know if it was off the Right Stuff movie or what it was, but I remember the Challenger was shown. The Challenger launch was shown. They wheeled in televisions into our lunchroom in my school, and like all the elementary school kids were watching as that happened. Like anytime there's a rocket launch, we would all go watch them do that. So obviously that was pretty tragic at a young age to see that. But the fascination with the moon and NASA and all of that, I was probably old enough to be on the very end of it. And it's funny, my kids talk about it now, and this has got them kind of jacked up about it. So it was cool to see. But yeah, humbling images from the moon.
Yeah, definitely the chaser to the news of the world.
Yeah.
You see those images, and you're glad that the United States is taking a renewed interest in space exploration relative to everything else going on planet Earth.
Yeah. It was. That's a good way to put it, I think. This was a nice chaser last night. Bake, when did you think they were cooked?
You think you get in that last minute, you pull the goalie, and you don't get one right away. You're kind of like, well, you never know, but
yeah,
it was. I think when you see those breakaways, and I think one of the things to me, and it's something that I don't know how much they can improve on it right now, but it's something the Blue Jackets need to improve moving forward. When they get in a 4-on-4 or a 3-on-3 situation where it's man on man, and you're not playing normal defense, they have some serious issues with their switches and their communication. Yeah, and there's a couple times where it's like, hey, let's both go to one guy while Patrick Kane has the puck skating in the slot all by himself. And you're like, what in the world is going on here? Like, if you're going to double someone, double that guy.
That's true. Yeah. There were many moments when you thought, well, here we go again, and then you get it, and hopefully it's a precursor for things to come, and hopefully this can lead to them actually getting in. One other thing before we hear from some of the guys. So Kent Johnson started on the first line of the game, on the top line. He played 9 minutes, really didn't play at all in the third period, and there's a no-doubter that he's going first in shootout, because he's obviously ultra skilled at that specific task. But he's not even, if you watched it last night, like he's not even sweating. His hair is completely dry because he hasn't played in 20 minutes, hasn't really played. And so his hair is completely dry. He's doing this thing where he like loosens up his shoulders a little bit. And then he just goes out there cool as can be, buries it 5-hole, and then like sheaths his sword. And I'm like, that is nuts. To know that he hasn't been on the ice for a long time. It's obviously been a struggle bus of a year for him. But at this specific skill, he's still the best on the team by a wide margin. And so he goes first, completely cold. I mean, it's kind of like a closer, I suppose, in relief. Like coming on to get like one strike. Not like 3 outs, but like truly like, we need you to get one strike right now. This has to be a strike. It's got to be a swing and a miss. And then he did it, which I thought was cool. And only in hockey does something like that happen. It also gives you a bit of a view into why we're all so puzzled why the season's gone the way that it has for him, because the skill is obviously elite when it comes with the stick. But there's not a whole lot of things in sports like that, where I suppose like maybe somebody getting called out on a technical who hasn't played, who's your best free throw shooter, to knock down 2 free throws to tie it, something like that.
I'd say that the baseball closer is probably the best analogy there. But yeah, you just need we need one good pitch, man. You need one good mound visit, and you're good to go. And we keep our season alive.
Right.
Which is the wildest thing, where now that the more I think about it, you asked Kent Johnson to set the tone for something you absolutely had to have. It wasn't enough you just get the point because you make overtime with the Red Wings, because they also get a point.
Yeah.
Like you need, like, here, Kent Johnson, save the season, and he might very well have set the tone for what could be the game we look at that saved this season.
Yeah. I mean, Bake, I don't think he played a minute in the third. Did he?
He didn't play much. I was just looking at some of the ice time here, 9:24.
Right.
For him last night, and he did play a lot early on. So
Yeah. So it took everybody to do this thing, but it was the best players who are the ones who brought it home. We talked about how Greaves has been playing. He was sensational last night. Werenski was the best player on the ice, and then Fantilli gets the goal of all goals, at least for one night. Here's Rick Bowness on exactly that. The best players stepping up when they needed it most.
Your big players have to come through, and this time of year, your best players have to come through, and they did for us tonight. We had a couple of games there where the only D scoring were the D, but tonight we got some goals from everybody, and Heinen had a great goal. So, yeah, you get this time of year, your best players, the old cliche, have to be your best players. They were tonight.
Some of those guys echoed that. Here's Zach on. It took everybody on this team to make sure that they got this win.
Yeah, it's huge. I think we can definitely build on it. Like I said, I think our focus was strictly on tonight's game, and I think it helped our team game. I felt like we put everything into it, our energy. Guys played extremely hard for 65 full minutes, and we're going to build on it. We're going to keep going. We're going to fight to the end and see what happens. But, yeah, just an awesome performance from a lot of guys. I felt like our whole team game, everyone was bought in, and we got the result, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, and the reality is if you lose that last face-off in regulation, it's cooked. It's done. If you don't, there's 20 seconds left at the time of the faceoff thereabouts. You lose that faceoff, you're probably not going to get a chance to get another one. They didn't. Monahan won it. The puck shifted through Zach to Fantilli for Marchenko, and he buries the game tying goal rather. Felt like game-winning goal. Seemed felt like that to Detroit, I think, too. Here's Rick Bowness on that game tying goal.
Well, it was, great, because the game against Winnipeg, Bucky's a big goalie, right? And there wasn't much room. Here he had a little bit more room, and that was just a great shot. And then we obviously had to win the faceoff. You can set up all these plays you want, but you better win the faceoff. So give Sean Monahan a big tip of the hat for that one, because we don't score without that. But it's just an awesome shot. Listen, Mo had a great game. He was strong at both ends of the ice, so I'm really happy for him, but I'm really thrilled with his 200-foot game now.
And here is the man who potted the game-tying goal, Adam Fantilli.
Yeah, that just speaks to the resiliency of this group. Monty bared down on the dot there. 2 quick passes from Marchi and Z, and I knew it got over quick enough, so I knew I was going to have a lane, and thankfully enough it went in. And then Jet did a phenomenal job in the shootout. Z, KJ, Coiler, they were lights out. That was such a great team win. It was awesome.
I've never heard of a face-off described as bearing down on the dot before.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's
the most hockey answer he could have gave. Yeah.
I think on that final play, and I understand there's desperation, and we got to go. There's 20 seconds left when you take the face off or whatever. But I think that final play, the Jackets can learn something about their power play from that final play. And this is something I've said for a long time, going back to watching the Tampa Bay Lightning in 2018 and 2019 and how dangerous that team was in those couple years after that sweep with the Blue Jackets where they won the 2 cups. Mm-hmm. The Tampa Bay Lightning power play, it's almost like it's a rule for them that you don't have the puck on your stick for longer than 3 seconds. If you have it for 3 seconds, you need to get it to the next guy, whether that's a cross-ice pass or just throwing it back up to the point or throwing it down low behind the net. The Tampa Bay Lightning power play back then, they never held the puck for long. It was from here to there, from here to there. And the toughest thing to guard is a pass. The puck is moving faster than anyone can skate.
Yeah.
And that's what the Blue Jackets did there. They won the face-off. It was bing, bang, bong, shot, and in. And I think that's something the Jackets, I don't know what they're looking at when they're doing things like this, but that's something where, hey, we can take this right here and we can translate this to our power play all the time, and it can help us out.
No, I think it's a very good point. I think from the Fantilli perspective, if you think about if they get in, this will be the thing that you remember as the catalyst that kept them alive. I mean, there's going to be more moments like this, but I do think it's important that kid scored that goal. I think that's really important. He is the crown jewel of all of this in terms of the young guys. Obviously, Zach's well-established, but Fantilli's the one that, I mean, you remember in the draft, it was Messier comparisons, all of that stuff. Like, he's the one that is in this run. And so for him to do it and have the reaction he did, I think that says a lot about what could happen here and the way that kind of the hockey gods align some things. Adam weighed in on this idea of we've got to keep fighting.
Yeah, it definitely helps the mood in the locker room. Where we were was not where we wanted to be, and the position wasn't lost on us at all. So we knew we needed that one. Like I said, it speaks to the resiliency of this group. We're not going to sit back and watch these points go by us. We need all of them, or we're going to try and get every single one before the season's over and put ourselves in the best position to get in the playoffs for our fans and for our city.
So here's what you got left. You're at Buffalo tomorrow night. That you're asking yourself, well, what are the Sabres playing for? Well, they're playing for seeding. They are currently tied atop the Atlantic with Tampa Bay. They both have 102 points. So you will play them on Thursday. Then you will be at Montreal on Saturday. If you're saying, well, what do the Canadians have to play for? Well, guess what? They too have 102 points. And they too are tied atop the Atlantic. And so from a seeding standpoint, they will have a lot to play for as you are in Montreal. And by the way, if you're curious what the interest for that game will be, the cheapest price to get in to watch the Montreal Canadiens and the Columbus Blue Jackets on a Saturday night in Montreal is $225. Just one of 82.
I'm kind of surprised it's that cheap.
Jeez. God. Bruins are here on Sunday. If you're saying to yourself, well, what are the Bruins playing for? Well, they're playing for the same thing you are. The Bruins are sitting there at 96 points. They're currently well in, but they will have something at stake too. And then you finish with Washington here in the final game. Washington is 3 points behind you. By then, theoretically, they could be eliminated, but who knows? So you're not getting anything easy the rest of the way. Go ahead, Beck.
And Buffalo's in New York tonight playing the Rangers, so that's nice. You'll get them on the back end of a back-to-back. Yep. And Washington tonight is in Toronto taking on the Maple Leafs.
There you go. One other thing, Reese, you mentioned the vernacular of the hockey there on the spot.
Monty beaming down on the dot.
Yeah. Bearing down on the dot.
Bearing down on the dot. Thank you. Yeah.
You know something that every time there's a big goal in hockey that I don't know why it's not said more, and it's said after every big goal in hockey, except they say it. I won't say it because I'd like to stay on the air. F&A rights. They say it after every goal. Why is that only hockey vernacular? Why is it not used more often? Why is it not used in basketball and football? It's such a great thing of a celebratory thing. Like, I'm certainly not advocating for my kids to curse on the reg, as Kenny Powers would say. But like, if one of them begs like a big lacrosse goal this spring, I'm going to put it in their ear. Maybe drop an F&A rights. Maybe that's what you ought to do, because that wins.
Hopefully America's domination of hockey doesn't ruin that and take that away.
It's so good. I hope it stays. I hope it stays.
They're all either teens or entering their teenage years. You don't need to encourage them to swear anyway.
Oh, my God. Well, in 2 minutes, I'll tell you what happened before their game on Sunday, which maybe drew some ire. In addition to that, Mr. Sayin, The table is yours, my friend. We'll get to that in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
With all that can go wrong at your home, it's enough to make you want to say, oh, brother. With Brothers Roofing and Construction, one call covers it all. Roofing, siding, rotting decks, we cover it all. So visit us online at brothersroofingconstruction.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Now is the time to call Comer & Cross and transform your garage with a gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor. Maybe your garage floor has exposed concrete with stains and cracks or a bad epoxy or paint job. Well, a new Comer & Cross garage floor will transform your entire garage in just one day. Now, here's the great part of this whole story. If you call them right now, they're going to take 50% off installation. Yeah, that's right, 50% off installation from Comer & Cross when you call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard, guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. Plus, they make it easy. They'll take your stuff out of the garage for you. They'll fix your cracks and pits perfectly like it's a new garage floor, and then they'll apply the proprietary finish that you pick. Yeah, I said it. They'll fix your cracks and pits. What's wrong with that? That's what you want. So call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR to get 50% off installation. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to comercross.com.
Working your way through that home projects list, that means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your air conditioner or furnace. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain issues? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing problems? Call the Waterworks. HVAC breakdowns? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted and certified plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
When you are a member of Tel-Ohio, your money works harder for you. Lock in 4% APY on a 24-month CD and watch your savings grow with a credit union built for its members. Visit telohio.org to learn more.
Federally insured by NCUA. Membership open to anyone in Ohio. Restrictions apply.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
What's up? What's up, man? What's up with you?
All right, here's what's up on a First Friday. We'll get to Mr. Sayin in a second in a very, I guess, what's become a unique spring for Ohio State football on that side of things. But, Reese, you mentioned that they are teenagers, and they are certainly using those words. And, yes, they are. So NBC is not in front of me, but obviously with their friends like we all were. And so NBC is an 8th grader. So on his lacrosse team, there are usually – so for an A team, there's usually – 18 to 20 kids, whatever. And then most of them are 8th graders. And then 1 or 2 7th graders get pulled up to play on the A team, right? So they had their first games this past weekend. And one of NBC's best buddies was in charge of giving the pregame let's go speech. And so, this is middle school sports, and he's trying to get guys hyped up. And he let about 6 F-bombs fly on the court, or on the field rather, of let's blank and go, blah, 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 blah. And needless to say, some of the 7th grade parents' eyes were the size of saucers at that. And it was like, well, not that we certainly endorse all of this, but welcome to 8th grade lacrosse. Like, at this point now, they are cussing a little bit, and it's probably not something anybody wants, and I'm sure their coaches are on them about it. But at the same time, that's the way they talk amongst their friends, and my hunch is most of you did too. But yeah, it was a little bit of an eye opener for the 7th grade.
And
parents.
they won, right?
They did.
Okay.
They did. Yeah, they did. So that's a good
the
point out of you.
Are,
if you're going to do it, you best win. If you're going to talk like that. And honestly, we had a little chat post game about maybe be aware of that there are grandmothers and grandparents around, and we probably don't need to talk like that. But nevertheless, we'll see if they learn from that. Got a game tonight. We'll see. Do you know this is the first time since I saw this in the Skull session this morning at 11 Warriors? Give full credit to those guys on this, because I hadn't thought of it from this perspective. This is the first time that we haven't had a quarterback competition since CJ's sophomore year. Since 2022. This is the first time. We've had one the last 3 seasons. We've had a quarterback competition.
Is that in air quotes?
Yeah. Well, but I mean, we didn't, well, which of those were the most? I guess the Howard one was.
The Howard run made you roll your eyes. The McCord Devin Brown thing was also a little eye rolling.
Which one was the most real, do we think, looking back?
I think it was McCord Devin Brown.
was the most real?
I believe so, because I truly don't believe Kyle McCord may have separated throwing the football, but I don't think his throwing of the football was as much overcame Devin's athleticism as Julian's did with Lincoln last year.
I mean, they probably loved when Devin would let expletives fly at practice.
Yes.
Feels very much
sure
like they
did.
love the dog that Devin, and same with Lincoln.
Yeah.
Like they love those guys for their, just who they are as competitors.
I would say the least legitimate of all the quarterback competitions, if you want to go way back, would have been CJ against Kyle. That was the least of all. Like, that was well known. And then I would say second least of all was Will. You don't identify somebody in the portal and then like go compensate them, bring them in, and then have them not start. So he was definitely going to be the guy. I think actually he may have been number one even more than CJ, because we hadn't really seen CJ play much. So the Will one might have been the silliest.
Devin Brown, by the way, if you were wondering, going to be the quarterback at Weber State this year.
Man, life comes at you fast.
Sure does.
From wearing 33 and being in two different quarterback competitions at Ohio State, and everybody here loved him, to going to Cal thinking that you would be the guy there and then losing your job to a true freshman, a highly regarded true freshman, but a true freshman nonetheless, to now at Weber State. When you leave, by the way, Aaron Nolan learned this too, the hard way a little bit. When you leave, you better make sure that you've got, because where's he at? Is he at like Missouri now? He went to South Carolina, and then Lenora Sellers, everybody thought Lenora Sellers was going to be, he's at Memphis. Okay, yeah. So where you better make sure that the place you land, like Lincoln, I'm guessing that they did the due diligence on Louisville, and he's the guy, and he doesn't have to, you got to win a job, you got to be a good player, but like that can go really poorly for you, and you can chase it around a little bit. And so Devin at Weber State, he was really into it twice, wasn't he? No, 3 times. No, twice.
Kind of.
Will and then Kyle. Yeah. So that's the way that those, and Ryan, if he has a quarterback competition, so next year there will be a quarterback competition. It'll be Tavian St. Clair against somebody, and we'll probably wait into August before we name Tavian St. Clair the starter, which will be pretty silly if that is the case, if he's been here for 2 years. There's no quarterback competition this year. Julian is the guy. One of the things that you're going to hear a lot is, how does Julian get better? From a throwing the football standpoint, there's not much that you can get better than the way that he was. He was historically accurate a year ago. Everybody wants him to run more. Everybody wants to lead more. I'm sure those are point of emphasis for him. I don't particularly care about the running much. I think on short yardage, you want him to be able to get a yard on short yardage if you're pushing the pile. But aside from that, that's not what he is. He's the quarterback of a football Ferrari that's going to spin it around, and I think that's what the offense is going to be this year. So that's the challenge for Sayin. This is a guy who in year one exceeded any sort of wild expectations you could imagine, to the point of being a Heisman finalist. And if he beats Indiana in that Big Ten championship game, he probably wins the Heisman. That was for the Heisman, as we look back on it. If he had beaten Indiana, he probably wins the Heisman as a freshman. So you enter into this year with things you have to improve upon. Ryan Day was asked, what are the biggest differences from Sayin last year to this year? Here was his answer.
Well, I think the first thing is just command of the whole operation, understanding that he's the guy that's in charge. We're constantly looking for him to, run the offense at a high level. And so the expectation is more than it was last year. Everything that he did last year was for the first time. This year we know what he can do, and so he's got to take those next steps. We've talked before about just the physicality of standing in the pocket, being able to escape and make plays with his feet when that's appropriate. But he's got to be at his best on third down and in the red zone. And in 2 minutes, we know we're going to have to win games in the fourth quarter. Looking at our schedule, we need him to be on his stuff when it comes to that.
That was probably and this wasn't on Sayin. I think the one thing that he really thrived at last year was tempo, and we just didn't see it much. Like, if you go with a little bit of tempo, he tends to thrive, I would think. And so when you talk about 2 minute, and he's right, you got a lot of high leverage games. These games are going to come down to the fourth quarter in many instances.
That's what I keep thinking about. Last year, Ohio State could afford to just out-talent everybody and sit on the football. Yeah. You're not going to get that at all this year. And so I keep thinking to the offense, like week 2 against Texas, I think you let that SOB fly.
Yeah. I would think.
This isn't like this to me can't be 14-7 last year against Texas. Like if you're Ohio State, I think you want to score 28, 31 points.
Yeah,
regardless of what you do, regardless of what the Longhorns are able to do offensively. But then you just keep rolling from there, and you pile points on people. You don't worry about plays, and you don't worry about keeping your guys healthy, because it showed last year in the worst time that you could go up tempo. It felt a little too late against Miami, but you couldn't just flip a switch. Like, you got to turn that sucker on in August and then ride it through.
So I think you're right, Reese. There should be no training wheels on Julian Sayin, and I don't think there will be this year, but I think we're fooling all of ourselves and we can just be saying this is what they should do, but I think we're all fooling ourselves if we think this offense this year is going to be drastically different from last year. And the reason I say that is Arthur Smith, who is going to be leading the offense, has always been a too tight, run the football offensive guy in the NFL. Ryan Day, the NFL is playing a lot more 12 and 13 personnel with 2 and 3 tight ends. That's what they want to do. The first thing he mentioned when he asked who's shining in spring, well, the tight end room is really good and consistent. This offense is not going to deviate very much from what we saw last season.
I think that's fair. I think to Reese's point, especially early, though, aggressive, and I know this is what you want too, Bake, aggressive offense is going to be key. You do not have Sonny, Arvell, and Caleb to rely upon defensively to win games. Your defense is going to have to learn on the fly how to play. Last year, you had 3 top 10 picks in the NFL in your defense. You may have that. You may, but not to that level. So you're going to give up points in a way that you didn't last year. And I don't think you're going to be able to beat some of these teams, Texas namely, 17-14. I'm with Reese on that, and I know you're with that too. Like, you're going to have to score points. And one thing to watch for, and I think this is why I think Ryan's really frustrated. I say really frustrated, but he has mentioned that he's frustrated in these press conferences. This is what makes this so hard in terms of the run game, because if you want to play that way and you want to play 12 and you want to play 3 tight end, you want to play action and all of that, then your run game had better be elite. It better be elite, because otherwise you're going to have situations where Jeremiah's, and he'll be bracketed everywhere he goes, but that'll even be exacerbated more if you cannot consistently run the ball with your backs. And I think that's where some of that frustration's coming from Ryan, just some of the injuries that are piling up front, and then the fact that his top 2 running backs are unavailable. So he's not getting a real look at what they're going to need to be by the time they get to fall. Something worth monitoring, though, is we're about 10 days from the spring game. I'm going to need a little bit of an explainer on what happened this morning in Major League Baseball. We will get to that coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Wake up with The Fan. Eat lunch with The Fan. Go to bed with The Fan. Dream about The Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Common Man here for Weed Man. I talk to you about Weed Man every year. Why? Simple. Number 1, I use it. Number 2, it works. You want to get those lawn roots thick, baby, because when that happens, they resist weeds, disease, and insects, and they're using top-of-the-line stuff. We're talking golf course quality. Weed Man is locally owned and operated by Corbin and Audrey. They will take care of you. Proudly serving Central Ohio and our Dayton friends. Call your local office, 614-733-3747, weedman.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. One question I'm always asked is, how did you become the largest injury firm in the world with over 1,000 attorneys and $25 billion in verdicts and settlements? One way was our financial strength. Medical malpractice is the 3rd leading cause of death in America. To prosecute a typical case costs up to $250,000 in case costs. We advance them all. Product liability cases can have similar costs with an army of lawyers on the other side. Automobile insurance companies have the resources to fight. Guess what? So do we. Many law firms simply may not have the financial firepower to work up your case the way you deserve. And we don't charge by the hour. No recovery, no fee. If you have a question about your case or wish to become a client, go to forthepeople.com on your mobile device or computer 24/7. It's that easy. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
For over 78 years, our family's been part of your love stories. At Diamond Seller, we offer bigger diamonds, better prices, and timeless designs for every chapter of your life. From your first yes to your forever I do, trust the jeweler who knows diamonds best. Visit Diamond Seller today.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place. And are you tired of windows so drafty that your curtains blow in the wind even after you shut your windows?
Sounds like a problem, Wilson.
It's why at the other window place, we now offer curtain tie-downs.
Wouldn't just great non-drafty windows be the answer?
And tank the entire curtain tie-down market?
Get the windows that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Pelotonia has proven there are no limits to community impact. We've raised more than $339 million for innovative cancer research at the James at Ohio State. Now, new routes let anyone be part of Ride Weekend. Mountain biking, trail running, and hiking join Gravel Day. And Pelotonia Kids welcomes our youngest riders because there's only one finish line that matters: ending cancer. Register today.
Last year, Eric Reeser and T-Bone staged the first annual Fan 5K. People had a good time and no one died. So we decided to do it all again. It all goes down Saturday, June 20th in Otterbein.
Presented by The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center.
Will Reeser's muscular calves explode? Will T-Bone's beard choke him while running? More importantly, will Tyvus Common Man and Timmy make total fools of themselves? Maybe. Magic 8 Ball says signs point to yes. Register today at 971therace.com.
Columbus drivers, there's a new Ford service team in town, and we're ready to earn your business. At the Capital Ford of Columbus Service Department, we believe service should be easy. That's why we can come to you. Need an oil change, battery, recall, or routine maintenance? Our mobile service team brings a certified Ford service technician right to your home or workplace. No waiting rooms, no wasted time. And when you do visit us, you'll see what makes a new dealership different. We work harder to show we care. Call or schedule online today with Capital Ford in Whitehall, 614-300-6657.
At ADP, we know you want your landscape business to succeed, but we don't know anything about landscaping. ADP only knows how to handle the business of your small business. So if ADP focuses on the payroll and the HR, while you focus on the land and the scaping, success should follow. Just don't expect us to know all about Kentucky bluegrass, zero-turn cutting, or what to do with a woodchuck. That's for you to figure out. Let ADP help your small business focus on the part of the business you're good at. ADP for small business.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Bo knows many people. He talks to the interesting ones on this show. This is Bishop and Friends.
Get to the baseball thing in just a second. Chris Lowe on 3 with a story with Jeremiah Smith that I'm just seeing here in the last 25 minutes that posted. Smith telling Lowe, I could have made over $10 million easy. I came to Ohio State for a reason, to win championships, develop as a player and a person, and keep building on his legacy. Over $10 million easy.
I think about that every couple of days, actually, like what Jeremiah's actual value is and what it would be on the, like, Miami's coming after him every single season. We know this. What the offers have been and what the offers should actually be relative to his value to this program and to college football as a whole.
So we've all heard rumors of what he's getting to play football at Ohio State this year. And if you believe those rumors to be true, it's kind of like I said with North Carolina. Like if they wanted to steal a Danny Hurley or a Dusty May from one of those programs we saw play for a national championship, they'd have to reset the market. They'd have to offer like $15 million to get those schools to not match the offer. So if we're hearing Jeremiah's getting this, for someone to get him to leave, they're going to have to offer him like double that. So it makes sense.
You imagine, though, put yourself in where you were as a 20-year-old.
For sure.
And he's obviously a wealthy man already. I mean, he's going into his third year. He's got a national Adidas contract. He's got a Battle contract, endorsements that he has. He's being compensated here very richly. He was compensated in the recruiting process, and now all of a sudden, you're compensated. You're being offered $10 million a year to play college receiver. I mean, and if that's what it was for him, then you have to assume that Julian was in a similar, because at the most important position, it would have been even more. Like, what's Arch Manning? If he would have went on the open market, what is he worth to Lane Kiffin? 20?
That's interesting because I don't think Julian or Arch either, and I know it's the position, but they're not considered the best player in college football.
How
like
much
Jeremiah
did Sorsby
is.
get from Tech? Was it $6 million?
We don't know.
It was almost 6, I believe. They
There's
said.
no way to verify it though,
no.
because we, who knows? Like, what Levitt get at LSU? I don't know. I have no idea what it was. But we have yet to have. We haven't had somebody like that enter the portal yet. When you think about it, like a surefire dude, hired gun, Mac. Like this happens in college basketball. Basically, everybody gets in the portal. Whole team, whole rosters get in the portal, all over the place. We haven't had that yet in college football, where all of a sudden, like I suppose if DJ Underwood doesn't like his experience at Michigan, and he jumps in. Well, I guess we had Legway. I mean, he was a 5-star. I wonder but he didn't play to that level at Florida. I guess I guess that's the thing that would be hard. It really would be like Arch or Julian. Arch would be the apex of it because of all that comes with it. Like, what's Arch worth to LSU for Kiffin? Would that have been 20?
Yes.
That probably would have been the highest valuation because of the circumstances. Louisiana kid, back to LSU with Kiffin, that name, that probably would have been the biggest offer anybody would have been offered.
I mean, I think the scenario you laid out is more likely to happen than any legislation or anything that is actually passed that fixes what people want to fix about the sport.
Yeah.
Like, it's more likely you get the gigantic quarterback news where he's going into the portal for one of those absolute money for hire.
Yeah.
Like, that happens first.
Did we almost have it this year? And I don't know if Washington can be considered, but did we almost have it this year with Damon Williams?
Maybe.
Darian Mensah, they're not on the same kind of stratosphere, but close.
Yeah. Royola's going to sit. Yeah, I guess we probably had it with Dylan Gabriel a little bit, like coming out of Oklahoma.
Yeah. Bo Nix.
Yeah. There were some that were out there. That's staggering. Snags with a great anecdote on social as well, as is typical of him. Aaron Nolan, let's go way back. Tate Martell, he learned the hard way when we were talking about those transfers. By the way, Tate Martell would have been quite enriched but in an NIL world.
Michael Penix Jr., maybe, Indiana to Washington.
I don't know that anybody, but was that pre-NIL? I'm trying to remember when all of this came into play. I can't remember. That would be a decent one. But, yeah, like a Heisman finalist jumping into the portal would have been a crazy thing at quarterback. To have, like if Dante Moore got in the portal. If Julian and Dante got in the portal and just said, highest bidder, what you got? What does that start to look like? What do those numbers start to look like? Speaking of numbers, I need one of you to Reese, I'm going to lean on you. You're Mr. Baseball. So are the Pirates smart for this?
I think so.
Okay, so this kid's the number one prospect in baseball, or he was. Now he's in the bigs. He got a double, like a RBI double in his first at bat. Connor Griffin's his name. Announced today by the Pirates that he signed a 9-year, $140 million deal within a week of being called up.
And I think they were working on the deal before he even got the call up.
So how does this work? Are they? Because the old days on a rookie like this, you would keep him in, and you wouldn't have to pay him until you had to pay him. Are they just jumping? They're just jumping to the front of the line on that, like just pay him now, and which is the most un-Pirates thing ever.
So right, Bob Nutting for years has been one of, if not the cheapest owner in baseball, and I know we lament about the Castellinis and the Dolans here as the Reds and Guardians fans, but it might be the Nuttings with the Pittsburgh Pirates. I looked at this and I said, okay, they're showing Paul Skeens we're serious people. Because you have this, a lot of the Connor Griffin is supposed to be like generational. So he's if they're committing to him, then that to me tells, I think, or at least should tell Paul Skeens, we're committing to this. We as an organization are doing this for this generational player who's going to help us win a championship, and that's what we want with you.
Yeah.
So, if you remember a couple years ago, the Braves did this. It wasn't prospects that haven't played yet, but they tried to lock up their core on team-friendly deals more than what it would be in a few years. The Mariners just did this last week or 2 weeks ago with Colt Emerson, who they signed him to an 8-year, $95 million contract right before the season. He's 20, so he's a year older than Connor Griffin, but I believe he had just made his major league debut or was about to or whatnot. So you're seeing teams kind of do this. I don't think this is smart for Connor Griffin, and I know that's hard to say, like, oh, you're getting $140 million, but he's probably given up some years of free agency here. Now, maybe he's getting a jump on this.
Yeah.
In his next contract, he'll still be young enough that he's going to get a massive payday. Maybe he can get 2 contracts in there with this.
But through 2034, though, to your point, Bake.
Yeah, it's 9 years.
Yeah.
I think it's great for everybody, especially. I was going to say it's best for Griffin because what if he doesn't pan out?
Well, that's true. You'll see every penny of it.
Yeah.
If he gets hurt, if he doesn't pan out, if he's not great, which happens.
And I think that's the thing here is if he gets hurt. But I'm sure that the team has insurance in here too. This is a super team-friendly deal if Connor Griffin becomes what everybody says he's going to do. There's been whispers that the Reds might do this with Sal Stewart, who's off to a great year here. I wonder if, the Guardians would look to do this with DeLauder and Bazana, especially with the regime change happening in a few years. So this is probably, you know how this is, imitation is the greatest form of flattery. A lot of people are going to probably try to do this now.
And it keeps it out of the grips of the big bad Dodgers, right? Because then you don't go to free agency, and then you don't have to deal with them and some of the other teams like them, the Mets.
Scott Boras is ticked right now.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he don't like this at all. Second hour of the program coming up next. We kick it off a little higher or lower, a little Masters preview as well. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences. Your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan.
I'm Yolanda Harris. I'm a journalist at 10 TV News. I grew up here, and after 25 years of telling this community stories, this place still means so much to me. When I'm not in the newsroom, I'm usually out supporting the same people and causes I care deeply about. I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still. It moves. It moves you to act, to verify, to volunteer, to speak up, or lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
Aviators football returns Friday, April 17th, 8 p.m. kickoff. The first 5,000 fans through the gates take home a free team flag. Grab your tickets now at UFLaviators.com. United we fly.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
The rain is coming soon. How can I prepare? My sump pump's getting really old and floods are not that rare.
You're right to think ahead before you're out of luck. I'll check it out with expert care for $37. Client satisfaction guaranteed. Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
I'm Roger from Columbus. I've lived in Ohio all my life. Owning your home is a cornerstone of the American dream. But for seniors, property taxes keep going up and are costing us everything we've worked for. They're even making it impossible for my grandkids to afford their first homes. Vivek Ramaswamy believes when you own your home, you're in charge. As governor, he'll roll back property taxes to levels from before the end of the pandemic. It's a practical plan that will put thousands of dollars back in your pocket next year while maintaining strong education and dependable police and fire. Ohio's politicians have ignored this crisis for too long. But Vivek Ramaswamy isn't a politician. He's an entrepreneur, and he's ready to fight for you. Ohio needs a leader who makes your life more affordable. That's Vivek Ramaswamy.
Lower costs, bigger paychecks, better schools. Vivek Ramaswamy for governor.
Paid for by Vivek Ramaswamy and Rob McCauley for Ohio.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven. I feel valued as a member.
They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pat Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
Coffee, sandwich, hash browns. Tired of the same breakfast routine? Time to refresh your morning ritual with a $6 Tim's Trio from Tim Hortons. It starts with a premium blend of freshly brewed coffee, a hot, savory breakfast sandwich made with freshly cracked eggs, and for a tasty twist, a daily baked donut to sweeten the deal. Ask for the $6 Tim's Trio. Your morning ritual refreshed. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer. Medium coffee only. Terms apply.
Come into your local AAA Tire and Auto Service and save $15 on any oil change. Offer includes a free tire rotation, and you'll earn $7 toward your next service with Duramax dollars. Offer ends April 30th. See store for details.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. As a longtime homeowner, I know how it goes when it comes to things that need to be fixed around the house and you just haven't gotten to them. Like maybe that leaky faucet that always has a drip. You think about it, but you never take care of it, and now it's just a part of the house. It's character. Maybe it's your windows that are always sticking and you can't get them open. So you just don't think about it. Who cares? Except now the weather's nice. You want to open the windows, and again, you can't because they're not fixed. Get new windows from Window Nation. They've made it easy to get top quality custom fit windows with their the more you buy, the more you save sale. You could save up to 50% off all your windows. Plus, you could get them with 0 interest for 5 years. Did you know investing in your home is actually one of the best investments you can make, especially in uncertain times? Experts report that windows retain 80% of their value. Energy efficient, beautiful windows from Window Nation with great deals going on now. Schedule your free consultation at windownation.com.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. A 6-game losing streak came to an end last night in Detroit. Zach Werenski found the back of the net twice, including a game-winning shootout goal to power the Blue Jackets past the Red Wings 4-3. Adam Fantilli forced overtime with 16 seconds left in the third. Jackets are 2 points out of the final wildcard spot and the third spot in the Metropolitan Division. Only 4 left to go in the regular season. Jackets will play in Buffalo Thursday. In baseball, the Reds are 5-0 on the road for the first time since 1990. Cincinnati won in Miami last night 6-3. Reds and Marlins go in Game 3 of their 4-game set tonight at 6:40. Yesterday in Cleveland, Brian Rocchio walked off for the Guardians in their 2-1 win over the Royals. The rubber match is today at 1:10, and the 90th Masters tournament starts tomorrow at Augusta. Scotty Scheffler's the favorite. He'll start Thursday around 1:45. This update sponsored by Metal Supermarkets, your convenience store for metal. Visit Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com or 2180 Wilson Road for all your metal needs.
What's the weather outside? Who cares? Bakers and shorts. This is Bishop and Friends.
Second hour on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. Get your Hey Guys questions into the fellas at 971-BFS. We will get to those coming up in about 57 minutes from now. You can also do so live in the YouTube chat. We will monitor there as well. Time now for a little higher, lower. Hit it, guys.
Bishop and Friends present Higher or Lower?
Oh, baby.
We are 15 days out from the NFL draft. Guess the Oakland Raiders or the Las Vegas Raiders are kind of on the clock-ish. They had Fernando Mendoza in yesterday. Tom Brady was in attendance. Our friend of the program, Nate Davis, is likely going to be in Pittsburgh for the draft and its festivities. He writes for USA Today and published a couple days ago a power rankings post-free agency pre-NFL draft. So you can get this at USA Today. Again, Nate Davis, great friend of our program, has the Seattle Seahawks at number 1 in his power rankings. Number 2 is the Denver Broncos. At number 3, the LA Rams. Higher or lower for Los Angeles?
I would have LA ahead of Denver. I think the two best teams in football heading into the draft are the Rams and the Seahawks. The Rams got better even this offseason. They seem ready to contend again and go all in. So, yeah, I'd have the Rams too. The one thing I would say on Denver, they did add Jalen Waddle, the offense, but there was a lot of whispers at the Combine that Sean Payton maybe wasn't crazy about Bo Nix a little bit. So that was something that caught my attention a little bit, that love affair wasn't quite as strong. So, yeah, I would have the Rams too, and I would have Denver down this list a little bit. Not like out of the top 10 or anything, but I wouldn't have them number 2.
Yeah, I think Denver and Seattle both are too high, quite frankly. I know they have Zach Charbonnet, but I think losing Kenneth Walker is going to be huge for the Seattle Seahawks. And I don't know how Sean Payton feels about Bo Nix, but I know how I feel about Bo Nix, and I think he's a fine, okay quarterback.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's a quarterback that inspires the Broncos winning Super Bowls to me, so I would have the Rams higher than both of these teams.
And if you have a problem with these rankings, yell at Nate Davis. At number 4, the Chicago Bears. At number 5, the Buffalo Bills. And the first sentence for each of these, the Bears at 4, they recently lost DJ Moore. The Buffalo Bills, they recently added DJ Moore. At 6, the Niners. At 7, the New England Patriots. Higher or lower for the Patriots at 7?
I'm a little surprised. Who did the Patriots add? What weapon did they add? Who did they did pick somebody up, didn't they? We keep waiting on them to pick up A.J. Brown. They've not done that yet. But that's the one with New England. Like, I don't think that Drake May was healthy at all in the Super Bowl, and I think that impacted it. I think New England's probably about right where they are. I think San Francisco feels a little bit low for me. They were there at 6. I would probably move San Francisco up a little bit. The one that we're going to have to get used to, and I think there are real questions in Buffalo. First, regime change in a long time. How does Joe Brady handle all of that? Obviously, they still have Josh Allen, so they're still a Super Bowl contender. But the one we're going to have to start getting used to is Chicago. We're going to have to get used to Chicago because it feels like they clicked with Caleb in the second half of last season in a big, big way, and they are loaded. They are absolutely loaded. They have weapons everywhere. So they didn't even really use Colston Loveland last year until last third of the season. He's going to be completely unleashed. Luther Burden going to be completely unleashed with DJ Moore now moving on. So I think Chicago's a team we're going to have to get used to in the top 5 of this for a while.
Yeah, I'm with you on Chicago, Bo. There's a lot of me that wants to say, oh, no, they're not that good. But yet they kind of are. And they have a quarterback who still needs some finishing school, but he might be one of the best playmakers in the league. So I think Chicago's up there. I think New England's a little higher, just not too much, because as you mentioned, Bo, they really haven't added a playmaker. They added Romeo Dobbs, but that's just about it. They have got to get a receiver, a big-time receiver to help Drake May. So I think I'd have New England maybe a spot or two higher, but they've got to get some playmakers.
At number 8, again, the USA Today, and great friend of the program, Nate Davis, power ranked all 32 NFL teams with about 15 days to go before the draft. At 8, he's got the Houston Texans. At 9, the Jacksonville Jaguars. At 10, Ryan Baker's favorite player, Justin Herbert, and the Los Angeles Chargers. Higher or lower for the Chargers there?
Okay, so now you get into a group of teams that, you're kind of Missouri, right? You're the show-me state. Tons of talent. Now it's time to go. I think Houston, Jacksonville, Los Angeles are all of that. And I know it was a mess last year, but I think this is I know we didn't get to this, but I would actually move Philly up. I just think it's hard for me to think of them as not being a top 10 team. He's got them at 11. So I'd move them up a little bit. And there's not a whole lot of difference to me between Houston, Jacksonville, and Los Angeles. I think his order's fine on that. I'm fine with LA being the third of those three, but I think all of those teams are very, very similar.
So this may not be a shot at the Chargers as much as it is a shot at the Texans and Jaguars. But I feel like I would have the Eagles higher. I feel like I would have the Chiefs higher because I think the Chiefs are going to bounce back this year. I mentioned Seattle losing Kenneth Walker. Well, the Chiefs got him. Mm-hmm. And I think that helps them tremendously. I would also... His 14, and I know we'll get to 14, 15, 16 with the Lions, the Bengals, and Ravens. I think all those teams are a little better, too. I think the Bengals, if they add another piece or two to their defense really started to play well down the stretch last year. If they can add another piece or two to that defense, then the only question is Joe Burrow, can he stay healthy?
Reese, you've been doing this for a while. When's the last time you saw the Baltimore Ravens healthy as the 16th best team in football?
I don't think that's ever been the case.
No.
I don't. No, they've never been bottom half of the league. And they don't.
Never.
Certainly, outside of 1 year, again, a healthy Baltimore Ravens, I don't think they've ever been behind the Bengals.
No. And he's got Detroit way down there.
Yeah.
There's another one I kept looking for. I mean, look who's got it 20, or 18 rather. Green Bay at 18?
19 the Commanders, 20 the Cowboys, 21 the Saints, 22 the Buccaneers, 23 the Steelers. Higher or lower for Pittsburgh at 23?
I mean, they got to be in the top 16, I guess. I don't really know what they're doing. The coaching hire really surprised me, and you can't be critical of them because they won the North. I mean, they make the postseason. But I just don't know what the path there is for them getting back to their ultimate goals of being like a Super Bowl contender, because they're certainly not that. So they probably deserve to be a little higher.
Yeah, when I look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, I don't know if we know what their plan is, but I would bet they're better than the Carolina Panthers this year.
Yeah. I won't bet anything on Carolina after my experiences last year.
I would bet they're better than the Dallas Cowboys. I would bet they're better than the New Orleans Saints. So, yeah, you've got to have the Pittsburgh Steelers higher to me.
A little higher, yeah.
At 24, the Indianapolis Colts, 25, the Giants, 26, the Titans, 27, the Browns, 28, the Falcons. Higher or lower for Atlanta at 28?
Yeah, I think that's really way too low for Atlanta. I know that they have the legal troubles with their draft pick, who was a stud last year. And I understand that there's a little bit of curiosity at the quarterback position, but I do think Stefanski will dial it up pretty good offensively for them. I think that their roster makeup is one that he's going to like a lot. So I do think Atlanta's a little bit too low on this list based on the talent they have.
Atlanta's better than the Titans. They're better than the Browns. So, yeah, they've got to be. I would argue they're better than the Saints, too. So they've got to bump up a little.
Yeah, I agree.
At 29, he's got the Raiders, 30's the Cardinals, 31 the Dolphins, 32 the New York Jets. Can't go any lower, but higher or lower for Gang Green at 32.
Well, they're better than the Cardinals because Geno Smith's better than whatever the Cardinals are. I don't know what the Cardinals are doing at quarterback.
Isn't it Gardner Minshew?
It's Gardner Minshew, and it's Jacoby Brissett. So
that's the ultimate journeyman team right there.
Yeah, and I think Arizona's the worst off, and then the Jets would be the second worst off. Those they're in the arch derby. That's what those guys are in.
I would tend to agree with that. And then I know he hasn't been great for them, but if they trade Marv, they don't have a ton on the playmaking side either.
No, not at all. So yeah, those two operations have a long way to go. The Masters Champions Dinner was last night. It kicks off tomorrow. Today's the fun day where everybody plays the par 3 and the little kids try to make the putts and skip balls across the water on the par 3 course. So the fun day down at Augusta, but the big tournament starts tomorrow. We will get you set for it coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
This is Gordon Miller from Miller Lending, the original home of the no-cost mortgage. If you've been in the market for a new home or just wanted to take advantage of lower rates, recent events have shown exactly why Miller Lending chose to offer a way around bad timing with our no closing cost program. With no fees rolled in or charged, including the cost of title insurance, you can simply close on today's rates and refinance free of charge as rates improve. Over the past several months, we spoke to numerous borrowers who had heard rates were coming down and chose to wait. We explained that if rates did fall, you could simply update a few documents and refinance again, but why take the chance? So when rates spiked a 0.5% recently, not only was I disappointed that we couldn't help those who waited, but also for those buying a home who just saw a sharp increase to their monthly payment. So while we can't control the market, we can offer an alternative. Eliminate timing and say goodbye to closing costs forever. 877-9-NO-COST or simply apply online at nocostmortgage.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender and MLS number 250-2146.
There's nothing like picking fresh fruits, vegetables, and herbs from your own garden. They're fresh and taste better. Those delicious treats start at Oakland Nursery. Number 1 size blueberry plants start at just $9.99. Cool season vegetable plants start at $2.99 a pack. Asparagus roots, rhubarb crowns, gooseberries, strawberries, and more. And all of your favorite herbs, too. Premium quality fruit trees start at just $29.99. Fresh fruit in your cereal and yogurt, fresh veggies in your salad, and herbs in your favorite dish. It all starts at Oakland Nursery.
Grab me a new cross-match bingo from the Ohio Lottery.
Sure thing. You said match bingo cross?
No, the newest $10 scratch-off with prizes up to $500,000.
Yeah.
The ticket's so big, it's only sold at retail counters. The one with over $15 million in prizes? Cross-match bingo.
One cross bingo match coming up.
However you say it, Cross Match Bingo combines cash word, bingo, and match games all into one for even more fun.
Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. Listen to The Beat with Austin and Byrne, now powered by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Get the latest Buckeye news, insights, and unbeatable analysis every day. Don't miss a moment. Stream The Beat with Austin and Byrne, sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
Tita Green with Skip Mosick.
Saturday, we'll talk Masters with PGA professional Paul Hollenbaugh. Plus, we'll head down to Augusta with SI.com's Bob Harrigan.
Tita Green with Skip Mosick. Saturday mornings at 9 on The Fan.
When you are a member of Tel-Ohio, your money works harder for you. Lock in 4% APY on a 24-month CD and watch your savings grow with a credit union built for its members. Visit telohio.org to learn more.
Federally insured by NCUA. Membership open to anyone in Ohio. Restrictions apply.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Jeff Wensing.
April is Autism Acceptance Month, and it's an important reminder that we must support and celebrate all students, no exceptions. That's what Ohio's public schools do. We don't pick and choose our students. We provide safe, welcoming learning environments for all, because public education matters.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Do you want a job that is flexible, secure, and fun? It also offers excellent pay and is ranked as one of the best jobs in America, too. I'm talking about being a dental hygienist. And all you have to do is complete a 2-year program after high school. Visit ODA.org to learn more and to start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Plenty of sunshine as we go into the day today, with highs getting in the mid to low 60s. And then for tonight, not as cold overnight with mostly clear skies and lows in the mid to upper 40s. For Thursday, we'll see more sunshine and breezy winds, and daytime highs soar in the mid to upper 70s. So get out there and enjoy the beautiful weather. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
During this 10-second promo, Rothman will lose money gambling on something.
People like you come here and blow the family nest egg that built this town.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan. Pull up a stool and ask the bartender for something neat, because Uncle Bo is on the radio. This is Bishop and Friends.
Indeed it is. We're proudly brought to you and sponsored by our great friends at Diamond Cellar, your true jeweler for nearly 80 years. It's that time. It is the Masters. The 90th Masters tournament begins tomorrow. Reese, you're not a golfer, right? You've not picked it up since last we discussed your...
it's been at least a decade since I've played a golf game. A round of golf, I should say.
A golf game. Bake is. All right, here's, before we get into the thoughts on this week, and obviously... Oh, come on. Why do you think we love it so much?
Hello, friends. Isn't it the beauty and the prestige? Like, it's such an exclusive club that we all yearn and want that. We all want to be there. We all want to play it.
It's so exclusive, but it's also, from a content standpoint, as inclusive as anything, in that we've seen it our whole lives. This melody hasn't changed in my whole life.
And it should never.
Has anything about the Masters?
Yeah. I mean, they've moved tee boxes back. I mean, there's
like the pageantry of it in like 35
No, it's
years.
remained the same. It's a nostalgia play, is what it is. That's what it is because you can count on it. It's a warm blanket of nostalgia that you can count on every single early April. And it's there all the time. And the course has changed, but to the untrained eye, I don't even know if you'd notice it. I mean, they've changed tee boxes to make it up for the modern game, and they've done stuff like that. But like, if you're not like a golf geek, I don't even know if you'd notice. And yet, it's something that, whether you are diehard golf fan or casual golf fan, I remember it being on when I was a kid in my house, and nobody in my family golfed. Nobody. But I'd watch the Masters, and that's, how many things are there like that in sports? I suppose the Kentucky Derby's like that, but that's 2 minutes. This is a whole weekend where everybody's into this thing, and it really has remained almost exactly the same. I mean, the jacket is the same. Fred Ridley's hair is the same. Like, it's the same operation for my whole life. And it's spectacular. And the pressure of it, you're right. I remember I've known some people that have played, both Jared Smalley and Matt Barnes at Channel 4 were both in Augusta as weekend guys, or maybe main guys, I'm not sure, but they're in the sports departments in the local stations in Augusta, and they've played the course. I've told this story before, Bake. I don't know if you've heard this. I'm pretty sure Reese has. The station that I was at in Tallahassee was owned by the Phipps Corporation, which was one of the wealthiest families, thoroughbred racing, land, all sorts of things, one of the wealthiest families in the South, and they owned that station. And they had covered, so our sports department didn't act as a small market sports department. And we'd been to, before I had gotten there, that station had covered the Masters for like 35 years in a row. Every year they'd cover the Masters, and there was a lottery. And they have a lottery for the folks who cover the Masters, and I'm sure they still do this. A certain amount of you get to play it the Monday after the tournament is over, is the way that I understand it. So, we had covered it for a bunch of years. The year before I got there, tragically, the sports director died from cancer, and the weekend guy left for another market. And so that year before I got to Tallahassee, the station did not cover the Masters. They missed it 1 year after covering it for 30-some in a row because of tragedy, and they just didn't have the numbers to be able to do it. So the first year that I went there and applied for credentials for the Masters, Augusta said, yeah, no. But what you can do is you cover the practice rounds, and I want to say it was like for 5 or 6 years, if you covered the practice rounds, then we could get you back in to cover the Masters again. In other words, they don't care. You want to cover us? You better be here every year. You give up your spot once, and you got to go to the back of the line. And so I never have covered it. I've never been there. I've known a lot of folks who have played it through the years, potentially could have some access to it in the near future. We'll see. But it is, I think, bucket list for everybody. Right? I mean, I think it probably is. And so, Bake, if I put this to you, would you rather play it once, play it one time, or go to it every year for the rest of your life?
Oh, this isn't even close.
Not close, right?
I'm playing it one time.
Playing it once.
Just you with this little tease about you getting on makes me so happy for you. Like, I don't, like every time, like I have to smile, and it's like I get this warm feeling inside, it's not even me.
Well, I don't know if it'll be either, but it's probably closer than it's been. But there's something to it. And you've seen how, I think last year was the best example of how it can wreak havoc on you. Greg Norman famously collapsed there and was kind of never the same. Rory McIlroy collapsed there about a decade ago when he was going for the Grand Slam the first time around and couldn't ever really get back into contention until last year. And he had one of the most stupefying rounds that you've ever seen in your life to win the Masters last year. He really could have won it on 17, could have won it on 18, and inevitably ends up winning it in a playoff over Justin Rose. And honestly, if it's anybody other than Rose, I don't know if he wins it, but he was so comfortable with Justin that I think it allowed for it to be able to go. Rory's also chasing a little bit of history here. Do you want the list of guys who have won the Grand Slam and back-to-back Masters? You ready for this list?
Shoot.
It's not a lot.
No.
There's only 6 guys who've won the Grand Slam. Rory's one of them. It's Jack, and it's Tiger.
Yeah, Tiger 0102 is the last.
Yeah, Jack was like 64, 65 or something like that. So those are the only 2 guys who have the career Grand Slam and have won Augusta back-to-back. And Rory will have the opportunity to do that this weekend, having won last year in the most dramatic of fashions. He was available before the Champions Dinner, which was yesterday, and addressed the things he still wants to accomplish.
I think the story as it relates to me is what do I do from now onwards? You know, what motivates me, what gets me going, what I still want to achieve in the game. You know, I think that's the story, and there's still a lot that I want to do. You know, you think every time you achieve something or have success that you'll be happy, but then the goalposts move and they just keep nudging a little bit further and further out of reach. So I think what I've realized is, if you can just really find enjoyment in the journey, that's the big thing. Because I felt like the career Grand Slam was my destination, and I got there, and then I realized it wasn't the destination.
It's going to be fascinating to see where he goes from here and how he plays this week. Playing it as a defending champ, you're hosting the Masters dinner, all of those things. There's a documentary on Netflix about his round last year, and I think CBS is going to play some portion of it or a version of it on Sunday leading into the final round. They also are going to play a Jim Nantz a story with Jack, because it's 40 years since '86. So they're going to play that as well. So I'll have the DVR set for that stuff as I'm bouncing around. But one of the things that happens in this Rory doc, which I think is available on Netflix, is he tells a story of last year's final round with Bryson DeChambeau where they can't tell who hit it further. And Rory's pretty sure that he hit it further, like it's plainly obvious he hit it further. And so DeChambeau should have to hit first. And DeChambeau is disagreeing with that. And he says, well, why don't we flip a tee for it? And Rory's like, this isn't some Sunday game, dude. It's the final round of the Masters. Get a rules official over here to figure out who's furthest out. Like, let's handle this. So that's something that enhances this. And I do think DeChambeau willing to play both the heel and the face, which he does depending on what the tournament is. I think last year he started as the face. Rory was more the heel now for whatever reason. I think it's good for golf. And Bryson echoed that rivalry does help.
It's great if we can continue to have a rivalry. I don't see any problem with that. I mean, if anything, that helps kind of create more buzz around the game of golf. Do I respect him as an individual? 100%. Do I want to beat him every time I see him? Absolutely. There's no question about it. But I think that's what's so brilliant about the game of golf is that juxtaposition of having that respect, sportsmanlike respect, and then wanting to just absolutely beat the living out of him, right? But, it's one of those things like I got him at Pinehurst, he got me here, and I hope there's more of those to come because it's great for the game.
It is. It is good. And he's willing to do this. Like he did it with Koepka a few years ago when it was needed. In that instance, I think most people would view him probably as the villain.
For sure.
Yeah, right? I don't know where. I think now people probably view him more as like the face and Rory a little bit more as the villain. We certainly saw that at Bethpage.
I think Bryson's done such a good job at, one, fixing his image and being more available. The accessibility that now fans of golf, casual, even newer fans have to him, and how he's kind of gone robotic about his game and everything that he posts on YouTube make him a more interesting, complex character. And I think that's only better for the game of golf. When you
You're
have
right
a guy
on
like
the YouTube
that.
thing.
Like, because do your kids
they love
consume that stuff? Like,
they love it.
It's everywhere,
they love it.
and it's more accessible than most golfers have ever been, especially at that level.
Reese, they don't see him play tournaments because he's on Live.
Mm-hmm.
So the only time they see him is in the majors, but they see him on YouTube.
And I will tell you guys, like, I am not the biggest consumer of golf. I've played golf since I was 5. I enjoy to play. I've never been the biggest, hey, let's sit down and watch golf, because I was like, if I'm watching this, I could be playing.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have rather done that. Now, Sunday at the Masters is a little different. I could listen to Bryson talk about golf all day because he thinks it at a different level. Just like this week, he's talking about his second shots and why they haven't been great at this course, and learning the win and the way the clubs go through the grass. He's built his own clubs for this week. It's insane. Like, the way he thinks golf is so scientific.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Bake didn't stutter or stammer there. That's fact. He built his own clubs. He 3D prints them for the folks who don't follow the golf all the time. That's what he did. Mr. Trotter in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
I started my first business when I was 12, mowing lawns for about $5 a yard. I learned if you do the job right, people trust you and customers care that you show up and do what you say you're going to do. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Doors. From garage door repairs to upgrades, we show up, we stand behind every job. We only use the best parts, and spring's guaranteed to last a lifetime. When you care about the people you serve, you work harder, and it shows. Call Don's Garage Doors today or schedule online at donsgaragedoors.com.
When it comes to garage doors, no one knows more.
Spring
Spring is here, and there's no better place to make memories than the Columbus Zoo. See tigers up close, watch playful otters, and see the baby elephants in action. For a limited time, take advantage of our Zoo After 2 p.m. deal. Plan your adventure at columbuszoo.org.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off of closing costs. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 5.99% APR, 6.02% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Let me introduce you to a man with a magnificent salt and pepper beard. A man who's currently roasting lamb on a spit. A man who runs the Rocky River Greek Festival. That man is Jake Trotter.
Indeed he is, and he joins on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Which ice cream did you get?
I got mint chocolate chip. I brought strawberry back to the kids. I got a mint chocolate chip shake for me. Fantastic.
Mint chocolate chip shake?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh. You're a mint chip guy. My wife's mint chip. My kids are mint chip. Just with all the options, I can't go that way. But that's the sweet spot. How did it compare to the rest of your mint chips you've had in your life?
It's the best one I've ever had.
Really? God, they're good at it.
Far.
They're good at it.
It's somebody said up there, it's like an ice cream factory. They just and I think I told you last week, you can buy a tub and they have this dry ice that they'll pull out of a chest, put it in a bag, and your ice cream doesn't melt as you drive back to 4 hours to Cleveland. I also brought back some milk as well. They know how to do dairy in State College.
They know what they're doing with the dairy. They do, buddy.
They don't win big games, but they know how to do dairy.
Well, that's a perfect segue into this. What was your sense spending the day over there about how he's going to build it?
Well, it's a completely different vibe from last year and really, in recent seasons up there. And that was my perception. But everyone you talk to who's still there from before says it's just completely different. It's way more relaxed, way more easygoing. Everything doesn't have to run up the ladder every single time you make any kind of mood. I mean, that was just the program that James Franklin ran. And I don't want to say it's too far to say that there was like an element of fear, cascading around the building, but there's just a levity there now. And, I'll write about this in a few days, from what I observed and, from the people I talked to. But, one thing I talked to, a couple players who were there last year, and they say this is the closest knit team I've ever been a part of. I said, how is that possible? Like, half the guys just got here, and it's only been 2 months. And some of the things they've been doing, I think have really helped facilitate that. And they have really emphasized player accountability, whether it's GPA or, showing up on time or, getting to class, all those things that we see at Ohio State, and have seen at Ohio State under Ryan Day. But it's going to be really interesting to see what it looks like in the fall. And whether that stuff translates to, all right, it's fourth quarter, somebody's got to come up with a big play. We've got to get a big stop. And whether, they can start winning those type of games. Because I think before it just seemed like the culture was off. And you don't feel that way right now. And it's going to be tested. And, their schedule is pretty reasonable for a Big Ten schedule. So there's an opportunity there for them to win a lot of games and get some momentum going. Rocco Beck, their quarterback, just a fantastic kid. I think he's going to be a real tone setter for them on and off the field. I'm excited to see what they can do. But, that Iowa State blue-collar mentality, I think, could play really well in State College. And though we think of Penn State that way, it really wasn't that way in recent seasons.
So that's where I was going next, and I'm really excited to read your post on this because I've always felt like Penn State is almost scared to act like what they should be. And you just alluded to this. You mentioned they have a very manageable Big Ten schedule. That's because they didn't want to play Ohio State. They did not put Ohio State down as a rival. Ohio State did put down Michigan and Penn State as two games they want to play every year, and Penn State's like, yeah, no, we don't want to play the Buckeyes every year. That headspace alone is hard for me to wrap my head around for a school of that and a program of that type of power and prestige and all of it. Matt Campbell, and you know this because you talked to him when he was at Iowa State. Iowa State's the most underdog program, or one of them, in all of Power 4. They truly are. I mean, it's an outpost. This is a blue blood, certainly a northern blue blood. Does it fit his personality over there?
Well, I think that, he is, I mean, listen, he comes from this part of the country. He's an Ohio guy. His wife and their family's from Pennsylvania. So they understand, the Midwest. And again, I think that Penn State is unique in that it's kind of like Ohio State and Michigan, but it's also kind of like Iowa State, which is also another outpost on a much smaller scale. Like, they don't have the resources at Iowa State that they're going to have at Penn State. But I get the sense, and listen, they only signed one or two players because of the coaching change, but I get the sense they're not going to just go out and try to get every five-star guy. They're going to try to get the guys that fit that mentality. And I think that could work really well for Penn State. I mean, you need talent. You got to have talent, but you also need – guys that buy in. And he, the fact that so many Iowa State guys came with him to Penn State, the fact that they've really blended well with the Penn State guys who are already there and, maybe were more highly recruited. I can see the vision for what they want to build there, which is, hard-nosed, which is, we're going to have a little bit of a chip on our shoulder because we're not Ohio State, we're not Michigan, but we're going to have enough talent to compete with those guys and, potentially win those close games. So, yeah, I mean, I think if you're a Penn State fan, based on everything I witnessed and the people I talked to, you got to feel really optimistic about the direction of the program right now.
And that'll drop in a couple of days. You mentioned your story from over in State College. Can't wait to read that. I read the one that you wrote last week in regard to Caleb Downs. We talked about it briefly, but wanted to give it a full read first. What did you learn about, because what we've talked about a lot, like what he's trying to do, it's a position that isn't a premium in terms of the draft, but he's, in most people's view, kind of the surest thing. What did you learn about Downs? What did you learn about how people view him in the story?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit all over the place. I think what I gathered is this guy has a super high floor. So if you draft him, you're getting a no doubt long-term starter who's going to set a culture on and off the field for you. I mean, we know Caleb Downs. We know these Ohio State guys. I mean, they're absolute pros. You feel like you're talking to an NFL team when you're talking to some of these guys. They're just very serious. And Caleb fits that to a T. He is one of the more intelligent prospects that we've seen, particularly at the position, but just in general. So all of that plays in his favor. I think that the question front offices are going to have to ask, especially the ones drafting in the top 10, Caleb Downs is not Sean Taylor. Like, he's not 6'2", 220 who runs a 4.3. Like, that guy was a top 5 pick because, in part, of the athletic skill set that he brought to the table, which was, a total unicorn. It's not Caleb Downs. So without that, like, do you feel comfortable investing in a position that just doesn't command a premium? But the other part of it is the NFL's changing a little bit, and the way people are playing defense. Like, we're seeing a lot more 4-2-5. We're seeing a lot more 3 safety looks. We're seeing safeties deployed in weapons almost like edge rushers or outside linebackers at times. I mean, think Kyle Hamilton with Baltimore, I think is the prime example. So if you see Caleb Downs that way, then you might be more intrigued to draft him, maybe with the 5th, 6th, 7th pick. If you see him as just a safety, then, he could be in the 15 range. I think Caleb Downs has low-key one of the more, he could go as high as 4, 5.
Mm-hmm.
He could get drafted after the Oregon safety. I had somebody tell me that, he wouldn't be stunned because that guy, Dylan Thiemann, has the athletic measurables that maybe are closer to what we're talking about than Caleb Downs. So, listen, you and I both agree, you just draft that guy and forget about it. You just put him in your secondary and you don't have to worry about that position for 10 years. But because it's a position that the NFL has basically drafted the least in the top 10 other than guard and center, you look at it and say, okay, we're going to take the 4th edge rusher or the 3rd offensive tackle because those guys are just hard to find. You can't find – ask the Browns. You cannot find a left tackle in free agency. You have to draft one and develop one or trade for one. Otherwise, you're not getting that guy.
I think the 2 Ohio teams are going to be fascinating, especially if Tate is off the board when the Browns pick at 6. I think the 2 Ohio teams for Downs are could be in play. And certainly I feel like Cincinnati would sprint to the podium if he was there at 10, because that would kind of be everything that they need. But he's going to be the story of the draft. It's a great story. I really recommend you reading it. ESPN.com. Jake wrote about Caleb, and look forward to your Penn State piece coming in the next couple of days, buddy, because they've always been a team of great curiosity for me.
Yeah, no doubt. Actually, we're going to wait till after the draft. So
okay.
A little bit. The draft is getting ready to take over ESPN.com. So
that's true.
We're going to wait that one out a little bit. But yeah, I'm actually working on it now, and I got a lot of interesting details, I thought, from the James Franklin era and then contrasting with what they're trying to implement now.
Yeah, it's a little bit Ohio State, it's a little bit Michigan, it's a little bit Iowa State, it's a little bit Notre Dame. It's kind of like all of these things. It's such a unique job and such a unique place. Look forward to it, buddy. Look forward to the conversation next week as well.
Okay, sounds good, Bo. See you.
There he goes, Jake Trotter, senior college football reporter at ESPN, joining us on the Bryan Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We do Thing or Not a Thing up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Dr. Mark Levy can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring. Sleep better. Live better.
Remember the old days when football used to have an off-season? Well, we at The Fan think that really sucked. That's why we bring you Austin and Berm, America's #1 resource for Buckeye football conversation, is voted by Fake Surveys Incorporated. Catch their daily podcast called The Beat and their breaking news podcast, Snap Judgments, as they broadcast live from Roosters on Mondays, and they come right to your house and massage your tender areas. They'll do it all. Austin and Berm on The Fan's YouTube channel and 10 TV Plus.
When you take pride in your property, clean, professional-grade cut says it all. This spring, don't just mow the lawn. Cultivate a yard you're proud to own. Get the Bobcat ZT 2000 with payments as low as $99 a month. Or go pro with the Bobcat ZT 6000 for as little as $218 a month. Bobcat Enterprises has the mower you need. Visit bobcatent.com to find your local dealer, because you deserve a Bobcat.
This is Lieutenant Governor Jim Tressel. If you're driving and take a quick glance at your phone, more can happen than you might think. Because taking your eyes off the road for even just a moment is like driving the entire length of a football field blind. Don't let those few seconds distract you from what's right in front of you. Phones down, eyes up, Ohio.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to power your progress, so you can give everything you've got, all for just 1 cent down. Whether you want to get the most out of our best-in-class equipment or go all in with free fitness training, our trainers are ready to help you get stronger than ever before. Take your workout to the next level at Planet Fitness. Join the club today for 1 cent down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, April 10th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Colin Man here for Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Oh, Mikey, did you know something new is coming and it's right around the corner?
What is it?
Now you can stay while you play. It's the all-new Hollywood Casino Columbus Hotel. It's coming June 12th, and we want you to celebrate with us as we open the doors with a can't-miss concert and festival.
And here's something for you this month. It's the Win Your Way drawings on select Wednesdays and Saturdays. You can score $100,000. Plus, coming in May, it's the Hollywood Tribute Concert Series.
Ooh, must be 21 to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Listen up. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Dr. Mark Levy's been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results. And now he has an office in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Hey there, guys. Bo Bishop here. When it comes to making a big decision like the ring, you don't wing it. That's why I trust my friends at Diamond Cellar. For nearly 80 years, their family has helped generations of couples celebrate life's biggest moments with exceptional quality, larger diamonds, and better value. And guys, here's the best part. They walk you through it step by step so you know you're getting it right. Whether you're ready to propose or ready to upgrade, visit Diamond Cellar, Sawmill Road, Easton Town Center, or learn more at diamondcellar.com. diamondcellar.com.
As the seasons change, it's time to prep your HVAC system with a $49 seasonal tune-up from Columbus Worthington Air. A seasonal tune-up can help save money on your energy bill and help prevent expensive breakdowns. As your local home service experts, everything we do is backed by our exceptional service guarantee. It all adds up to dependable service from neighbors you trust. Columbus Worthington Air and Bryant Heating and Cooling. Whatever it takes. Visit cwaohio.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 47543.
The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and 32-ounce Yuengling drafts for only $4. They've all been paid by the Cleveland Browns. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a first Friday. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
All right, so this is some news from about 90 minutes ago from Yahoo Sports and Ross Dellinger. The NCAA is exploring a significant change to its eligibility rule. Next week, an NCAA committee, they love committees, will discuss a new age-based standard for athlete eligibility that would grant athletes 5 full years of eligibility from the time of their 19th birthday or their high school graduation. It would add no waiver requests, red shirts, or exceptions to be permitted, except for a small group of outliers, maternity leave, military service, or religious missions. Thing or not a thing?
I was with him until the outliers. I mean, we're with him totally. I mean, this is Deep Throat Nick's idea that we parroted like a month ago. And I remember when he texted me and I said, boy, you might be onto something there with that 23-year age limit. This crystallizes that even more. So what it's saying is 19 to 24 is the window that you have to play. So that allows for a prep year or whatever you want to do that in some of the sports. I think, though, the real problem here is if you give somebody an inch on what very may well be a rightful exception, you open up a million miles of exceptions. So if you say religious, my guess is that's keyed to like Mormon missionaries, is right, where you go on the 2-year mission or whatever. Well, what if somebody wants to, well, I did a Christian missionary for 2 years. Okay, well, how are we going to prove that they did? So I think that's where, unfortunately, like, it's almost has to be completely black or white. Like, either this is it or it isn't. I'm sorry, you're not entitled to 5 years of collegiate activity. If you choose to go on a mission, well, then you're going to lose 2 of those years. You'll still have 3, but you won't have 5. And because when you do the exceptions, I think that's where you get leveraged.
Yeah, Bo, they might have had something here until they used the word exceptions. And man, I get this. I just keep coming back to the kid at Oakland this year who had to go to work right out of high school to help his family out. And people will say, well, that's life. Well, yeah, that is life. But that doesn't mean he shouldn't go get to play college basketball if he's good enough and he still has eligibility. I also think about the Chris Winkies of the world or the Brandon Whedons that decided they were going to go one path. That path didn't work out for them. They revamped and went and did another path. And, Chris Winkie was able to come back, and it never worked out for him in the NFL, but he went to Florida State. He won a Heisman Trophy. Yeah. I think those stories are cool. And I understand we're in a position here where we have to make rules where we follow the letter of the law because the intent of the law causes people to take advantage of it.
Yeah, and the one thing that's even surprising, I covered Wanky at Florida State, the end of it, and we won a national championship too. But the thing that was interesting, I remember thinking even in the moment how weird it was. Like, he was a professional baseball player.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in the minors. He was compensated, and somehow he could still play college football. I mean, that's 20, 30 years ago. But he still was able to play. It's wild to me that they greenlit that.
I love the story that he was dating the local news anchor.
He was. He was dating the main anchor at my station. Yeah. Lovely lady. Married now with a lovely child.
Last night in Toronto, Bo's Dodgers beat the Blue Jays 4-1. It was especially mean of Los Angeles as Canadian fans were celebrating their inaugural 1977 season with 77-cent hot dogs. Bill Shankin covers the Dodgers for the LA Times and says the Blue Jays, who have been selling 77-cent hot dogs tonight in honor of their inaugural season, just posted the latest hot dog sale total on the scoreboard. It's the 7th inning. They sold 100,204 hot dogs. Thing or not a thing?
So you know where my mind goes? First of all, this is funny. Where does my mind goes to this. What is the profit on a 77-cent hot dog?
Well, I mean, if they can sell them for 10 cents at Huntington Park, it's a pretty good profit still.
Which may be a loss leader for them at Huntington Park, but you're getting all the people in and they got to pay admission, so there's your kind of winner there. But I'm guessing, so what this tells me, I'm just curious, that's what I'd like to know. If there's somebody out there in concessions, I won't make it, I just am very curious, like what is the cost for a Major League Baseball stadium per hot dog? And are you still making a profit on 77 cents a hot dog? A lot less, but if you sold 100,000 of them, that's a pretty good nut there.
What I want to know is when they put that they've sold over 100,000 hot dogs on the scoreboard in the 7th inning, I want to know if that was the biggest cheer of the night. Because I bet it was.
Yeah, probably. World Series rematch, yeah.
I also think it was
lucky little Dodgers.
The manager for the Blue Jays, I think, got into an umpire's face and turned a full shade red. So I think it was a pretty spectacular baseball game.
Could have been the hot dogs coming back up.
Could have been
100,000 hot dogs through the 7th inning. I'm looking at the Rogers Center because I think it was. So okay, that's not the record. There was WrestleMania 18, 68,000. They hold 39,150 for a baseball game.
Didn't you just go back and watch WrestleMania 18, Reese?
I did.
Did you realize at the time it was in Toronto?
I realized it was in Toronto, but I forget, like, stadiums, they change names.
Who's your main event?
In 18, it was Triple H and Chris Jericho for the world title, but you had Rock Hogan was the headliner.
Oh, okay.
Rock Hogan. That was massive.
Was that Stone Cold Scott Hall, too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you went in thinking Hogan was going to be the heel, and then in the middle of that match, the Canadian fans flipped on The Rock.
That's cool.
17's still the best one, in my opinion. On the most recent episode of the Game Over podcast, which I realized exists yesterday, it's a digital show that Clutch Sports CEO Rich Paul does with Max Kellerman for The Ringer.
Oh, boy, that's got to be quality.
Well, on the recent episode, Rich Paul indicated that Luka Doncic may be facing an even longer injury than expected. Quote, Luka and Austin Reeves are injured. Luka is out. It's trending. He's going to be out a lot longer than Austin Reeves. So Doncic is dealing with a grade 2 hamstring strain. Reeves was diagnosed with a grade 2 oblique strain. He's supposed to be out 4 to 6 weeks. And it was reported Monday that Doncic went to Spain for an injection in that injured hammy with the hope to promote healing and expedite his return to the court. This from a doctor who works with Yahoo Sports. The injection and treatment plan is likely some combination of stem cells, platelet-rich plasma, or more advanced regenerative techniques. Stem cells can be more manipulated to increase their potency in Spain, some with PRP. Theoretically, he could cut his timeline in half. Thing or not a thing?
A lot of ways you could go here. All of this is a thing. I mean, it sucks for them because they were playing their best basketball of the season when all these injuries happened with Doncic and Reeves. LeBron had acquiesced to kind of being the true three. And I can't help, I don't have any context to this, but I don't know. The way I read the Rich Paul quotes, it's almost like he's happy about it. I always think the worst.
LeBron can be the man now.
Yeah. I always think the worst of all of LeBron's hangers on. And I'm just I wonder if secretly he's like, yes, now we can run it through LeBron again. That's in my head. It's probably not fair.
I feel like Bob should have just had Luka on speed dial and said, QC Kinetics, you don't got to go to Germany. My guys will take care of you here in town. I hope this isn't a thing with Luka as far as what's to come with him, but this is exactly why the Dallas Mavericks got rid of him. They were worried about this right here.
Yeah, and he was in the best shape he could. I mean, it's not like he was overweight Luka. He looked incredible with the Lakers. It seems like he was doing everything right. It's just bad luck. I always go to, on any of those injuries, I always go to the reaction of the player that the injury occurs to. And his was devastation. So he knew how serious it was. Final hour on a First Friday. Get your officially endorsed. Get your Hey Guys coming up next. Still time to get your questions in the fellas at 971BFS on the X platform. Also live in the YouTube chat. We will handle all of that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
1, 2, 3. Here at The Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. A question I get all the time is, how did we become the largest injury firm in the world? We have over 1,000 lawyers in all 50 states and close to 6,000 coworkers. Our call center is on duty 24/7. You can reach us at any time at forthepeople.com. But the real reason is we won a lot. When you visit our website, go to our verdicts and settlements. There you will see what our clients were offered and what they were awarded at trial. All those verdicts help us resolve many cases fairly and early. You see, nothing beats reputation. The insurance industry knows who we are. We even have insurance adjusters call us for representation because they know too. We've made it easy. On your mobile device or computer, go to forthepeople.com and we will get busy. It's that easy. Call today. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Working your way through that home projects list, that means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your air conditioner or furnace. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain issues? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing problems? Call the Waterworks. HVAC breakdowns? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted and certified plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville, or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
Confused as to what to do after an accident? Or perhaps your insurance company is making the repair process difficult to navigate? Call us at Capital Ford Collision Center, where we fix all makes and models. We will work with your insurance company so you don't have to. Visit CapitalFordColumbus.com today.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications the top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
I'm Brian Albizu, traffic anchor for 10 TV News this morning. Columbus is quickly becoming my home, and this community has welcomed me with open arms. My mission is simple, to help you get to where you're going quickly and safely. Whether it's helping you beat the slowdown on 270 or giving you detours around major construction, we've got you covered. Because when your morning's on the move, so are we. Make the move to 10 TV News this morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
When you are a member of Tel-Ohio, your money works harder for you. Lock in 4% APY on a 24-month CD and watch your savings grow with a credit union built for its members. Visit telohio.org to learn more.
Federally insured by NCUA. Membership open to anyone in Ohio. Restrictions apply.
We're hiring at Don's Garage Doors. No experience? No problem. We provide full training, a brand new van, top-of-the-line tools, a gas card, and steady jobs with weekly pay. This isn't just a job. It's a career with real growth, great pay, and job security. Our team members go from training to 6 figures, and we're ready to help you do the same. Don't wait. Apply now at donsgaragedoors.com.
At Babs R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement. As the Midwest's fastest growing 5-star bathroom remodeler, we're more than just transformations. We're a community driven by a mission to bring your dreams to life. Our installation team, part of the Babs R Us community, isn't just skilled. They're dedicated to respecting your home. Each day, they bring craftsmanship and hustle, turning your dream space, no matter the size, into reality. Together, we embrace a culture that values diversity, collaboration, and giving back. From supporting local projects to fostering a workplace where every voice is valued. Babs R Us is more than a company. It's a community of experts. We're also expanding locations to create more possibilities for homeowners across the Midwest. Wherever you are, you'll find us ready to turn your dreams into something you can see, feel, and enjoy every day. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BAB to schedule your free estimate or go to babsrus.com. Babs R Us, where dreams soak in.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. The Blue Jackets put a halt to their 6-game slide. CBJ beat the Red Wings last night 4-3 in a shootout. Zach Werenski netted the game winner. Adam Fantilli forced overtime with 16 seconds left in the third. Jet Greaves was spectacular in overtime. He had 34 saves in the victory. Columbus is 2 points behind Ottawa for the second wildcard spot in the East. They trail Philadelphia by 2 points for third in the Metro. 4 games remain for the CBJ. They skate in Buffalo Thursday. In baseball Wednesday, the Guardians host the Royals at 1:10. It's the rubber match of their 3-game set. Tonight in Miami, the Reds look to go 6-0 on the road, playing the Marlins at 6:40. You can hear that game over on the Fan, too. That's 1460 on the AM dial. And the 90th Masters Tournament starts tomorrow morning at Augusta National. Scotty Scheffler is your favorite. He'll start Thursday around 1:45. This update is sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling. Together to serve you better. Scheduled today at thewaterworks.net.
Sports conversation that's worthy of a toast, or at least a stiff drink. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, final hour here on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. Get your officially endorsed coming up at the end of the program. Time now to open up a little bit of Hey Guys. Hit it, fellas.
Nothing is off limits. Your participation is required. Just use the hashtag #HeyGuys and ask anything you want. Do it now.
Sponsored by High Bank Distillery Co. Great food, award-winning drinks, and something for everyone in the family. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
All right, so we'll start on Twitter. It sounds here Dr. Michael sent us something that's a bit of a brag.
Okay.
The way I read it is he got to play Augusta National with both of his daughters. So he says, hey guys, where would you rank having your kid at Augusta on your dad bucket list? He says having both kids go was great, but my little one skewered me before she putted. He says, I reminded her to read the putt. She said, quote, I don't need the rantings of an 18 handicap, and then sank the putt.
This is we talked about this. This is Maeve. Remember in the drive? She was. I remember
this yesterday.
No. This is like a year ago, I think, or maybe she did it again. But we've talked about this family before. Now, the name's a little different on this. Or did he compete? I'm a little confused because I know we've talked about Roy and his daughters, but this isn't from Roy. But his daughter Maeve is in this, who we've talked about. You remember this, Reese? Remember that he would give us like these incredible. They would always listen to all the shows and the movies and all that stuff, and they're like prodigy golfers. So I'm not sure who his daughter is on all of this. Yeah, but I know that like Maeve is on this.
Yeah,
and so I don't know if his daughter played against Maeve or what. But either way, Dr. Michael, That's pretty good. And the line from the daughter is incredible. I don't need the rantings of an 18 handicap to read a putt at Augusta. That's about as good as it gets to for a daughter to say that to a dad. So it sounds like she competed and he was there and was potentially willing to read a putt. And she said, no, I'm good. I believe I had this. My hunch is she must have made the putt as well. So, yes, that's way up there on the dad bucket list thing. I played last Friday. This is not that at all, but this speaks a little bit to just how your kids can usurp you so quickly. Last summer, NBC beat me for the first time, which doesn't take much. I'm terrible. But we played last Friday, me and Bootsy against him and Beamsy. And not only did he shot 41 playing his own ball all the way through, which
there we go.
I can't do. Yeah, I can't do that. Bake, he hit it. So they were doing like alternate shot off the tee a little bit, even though he was hitting his own the whole way. And he had to hit from like right in front of the tee box because it didn't go well for Beamsy. He hit it off the deck with his driver, 225. Off the deck, straight as an arrow. I went, well, I can't do that. I can't hit driver off a tee. You're hitting it off the deck. So I know what it's like, Dr. Mike, to be lapped. And there's no way I'll ever be able to beat him again. It's done. It's cooked.
So, as someone who has no kids that he knows of, I don't know how much I can comment on this, but I would have to think it's pretty cool. Like, one of the things that maybe one of the main reasons I still play golf as much as I do is because it's something that my dad and I do together. Yeah. So, I could imagine, like, for my dad, if we got to go play Augusta, yeah, he's the biggest golf fan that I know, and he would, that would be the ultimate bucket list for him. I think this kind of depends on what you and your kids are into, right? Like, if your kids aren't really big into golf and it's not their thing, I don't know what playing Augusta, if that's like a true great bucket list thing for your guys' relationship. So I think it's just got to be something, if you're all into golf, then heck yeah, this is right at the top of the list.
I think that you hit it. It doesn't really matter what you're into. All that any of us want who are parents, or I think what I want, and I assume what most of you out there want who are parents, you just want to be able to do stuff with your children that you all enjoy, whatever that is.
For sure.
That's the goal of it. So if it is golf and you get that opportunity, that's a nice win.
Cardinal asks in the YouTube chat, hey guys, it's grilling season. Burgers or brats?
I don't like grilling burgers. I prefer them on a pan. I prefer them basted. I prefer them smash burger style. I actually bristle anytime my wife is like, why don't we just grill burgers? Like if you have a bunch of people. You know what type of pain in the neck that is? To try to get like 12 burgers cooked correctly on a grill where I don't control the temperature. It's a total headache. Brats are easy. Do they start to bubble? Done. Easy. I'll do that in my sleep. Burgers, I do the other way. I'll do it on the griddle. I won't do it on the standard grill. So I'm a brats guy.
So you get your Blackstone out there and you do your smash burgers. It's still grilling, technically, but
I guess. Yeah.
I mean, give me burgers.
That's how I would do it.
Burgers all day. I don't believe that grilling burgers are that hard, and I'm not a big brat fan. So give me the burgers all the time.
How do you like your burger done?
Medium well.
Okay, well, that's why. Because it doesn't matter to you if you overcook it.
Yeah, but it's a burger. Like a burger medium, you might run into stuff here. It's not like a steak. Like,
no, it's not.
The ground beef touches a lot more products throughout the way where you got to cook it a little more.
Well, I mean, to a certain extent, but I mean, I'm medium rare. So, like, on burgers, and my kids are, and so all of a sudden, if I got 4 of you guys who are going medium well, and I got 3 of you guys going medium rare,
beggars can't be choosers. They get what they get. If we're cooking for a lot of people, we're not made to order here. Like if we're not
made to order.
If we're
you don't say how do you like your burger?
Isn't
that a considerate thing? Like how do you like your burger?
If I've got 20 people over, you get what you get and you like it. If you want it a certain way, hop on and cook it yourself.
Chris asks in the YouTube chat, hey guys, given the choice and you have to choose one, would you rather spend a week in space or a week in a submarine underwater? Both have windows to look outside.
Space. There's something that I don't know if the fact that I would and you'd be dead either way, right? Either way you die if it goes wrong. So there's no, I guess either way it's death. There is nothing that I find appealing about deep space. I'm not going in a submarine.
You mean deep sea?
Deep sea. Yeah. I'm not going in a submarine. I'm not going underwater. I can snorkel. There's been times in my life I think it'd be fun to scuba, maybe get the kids into it. That'd be fun. And then every time I do, I'll watch a National Geographic or something like that, or a Planet Earth, and you see somebody scuba diving 60 feet below the water and a giant whale or something swims over. I'm like, nope, I'm out. So give me space all day long.
So I understand these guys are up in space and they're exploring the moon right now, and they can see Earth. But I have a feeling if you're underwater, you're going to be able to see a lot more things than if you're in space, and a lot more different types of things. So I think I would do the submarine. I think that would be cooler, especially if the submarine had lights around it and you could see things. You swim by a great white shark and some kind of mermaid that we had no clue was down there. I think I'm more for that.
Did you see Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou?
I did not.
Reese?
I've seen it. Yeah, I have no interest in the ocean. I mean, swimming in it's fine. Being at the beach is great, but I'd love to be in space. Phil asks in the YouTube chat, hey guys, if you could swap one player for your favorite team for any other player, who would you pick? He says he'd swap Nikola Jokic for Jarrett Allen in a heartbeat. I'm sure you would.
Geez.
Now there should be parameters around this.
I'm sure you would, Phil. As would I. I would love to do that. I'm sure the Nuggets would be amenable to it as well.
Yeah, it would be Josh Allen to the Cleveland Browns.
So
for me, that's easy.
Mine would be let's trade Patrick Mahomes for Dylan Gabriel or Shador
or whatever. Put that guy on there
for the Browns at least.
Give me one of those guys, because that's the hardest thing to do is to get a franchise quarterback in the NFL. If for anybody would say, Ohio State, no, Ohio State's going to recruit somebody similar. I'm not. That's the least of my concerns. Who would be the hockey answer?
So there's a bunch in hockey, Bo. Could I trade
McDavid?
Elvis Merzlikins for Andre Vasilevsky? Could I trade Eric Goodbranson for Cale Makar? Could I trade Kent Johnson for Connor McDavid?
What one would mean the most?
Jenner for Brad Marchand?
Which in hockey would, because the Jokic thing, you did that, you'd win a championship. If you did the Allen thing, you could contend for a championship right now in the NFL. If you could do which hockey trade would net the biggest? And for your baseball teams, it would be Ohtani, right? Because then you get everything. Then you get an Avenger. But for hockey, which one of those that you just mentioned would give you the best chance for success? Probably Vasilevsky.
That's so hard because I think they all would.
I know, but you got to pick one.
But
you don't need Makar.
Jet's been playing great.
He has. But look, this is fantasy world.
And maybe give me Nathan McKinnon or Matthew Tkachuk. Might be the difference up front.
Over McDavid?
McKinnon, have you seen what he's doing right now?
I have, but yeah.
Listen, and here's something I know with Matthew Tkachuk. When you're having an off night, he's going to drag you into the fight.
You're a Jody Shelley. You're like Shelley time. You want fighters.
Well, I need somebody that cares, right? I need somebody that's I don't fighters. Care. Not even a fight. Just he'll go make a hit. He'll do something to change the momentum.
Yeah.
I'll do this one for you, Bo. You can get the contract of Luis Ortiz and Emmanuel Clase, but I would like Shohei Ohtani. It's two for the price of one.
2 for 1.
Actually, it's 2 for 2 because Ohtani can be your DH, but right?
Yeah, that works. We can do that. We'll continue with the Hey Guys coming up next on a First Friday, Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Don't let a failing sump pump put your home at risk. Right now, get $80 off sump pump replacement with Logan Services. Protect your basement from flooding and get the peace of mind you deserve. Call now. Fast, friendly service, Logan Services.
There is nothing more meaningful you can do for yourself, your family, and friends than finally getting rid of that pain so they can enjoy that time with you again, especially heading into vacation season. Here, let me help you. It's Bobby Carpenter, and Dr. Tesner and his team at QC Kinetics take care of your pain in the office so you can go right along with your day. It's that easy. So if you say yes to any of these questions, you're the kind of patient QC Kinetics regenerative treatments can help every day. I have consistent pain in my joint, knees, hips, shoulder, back. Pain keeps me from getting a good night's sleep. I'm missing work or saying no to things that I love. I don't want surgery or a long-term recovery. I am at the end of my rope, and taking medications every day is just going to get me through the day. I don't want to do it anymore. So if you want to do that, go check out your free consultation over with my friends at QC Kinetics in Dublin or Gahanna. Call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. They have offices in Dublin and in Gahanna.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Now is the time to call Comer & Cross and transform your garage with a gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor. Maybe your garage floor has exposed concrete with stains and cracks or a bad epoxy or paint job. Well, a new Comer & Cross garage floor will transform your entire garage in just one day. Now, here's the great part of this whole story. If you call them right now, they're going to take 50% off installation. Yeah, that's right, 50% off installation from Comer & Cross when you call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard, guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. Plus, they make it easy. They'll take your stuff out of the garage for you. They'll fix your cracks and pits perfectly like it's a new garage floor, and then they'll apply the proprietary finish that you pick. Yeah, I said it. They'll fix your cracks and pits. What's wrong with that? That's what you want. So call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR to get 50% off installation. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to comercross.com.
Aviators football returns Friday, April 17th, 8 p.m. kickoff. The first 5,000 fans through the gates take home a free team flag. Grab your tickets now at UFLaviators.com. United we fly.
We at The Fan have created a show where you can be a homer, a hater, or whatever you want to be. Sunday mornings at 8.
It's the Fan Call-In Show, presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Save big money on your interior stains and finishes now at Menards. Provide exceptional color to your staining project with Minwax Color Series. It applies evenly and dries fast with just one coat. Get a quart of Minwax Color Series wood stain in over 240 colors. On sale now through April 12th. Visit our paint desk and let our helpful team get you everything you need for your stain project today.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm Roger from Columbus. I've lived in Ohio all my life. Owning your home is a cornerstone of the American dream. But for seniors, property taxes keep going up and are costing us everything we've worked for. They're even making it impossible for my grandkids to afford their first homes. Vivek Ramaswamy believes when you own your home, you're in charge. As governor, he'll roll back property taxes to levels from before the end of the pandemic. It's a practical plan that will put thousands of dollars back in your pocket next year while maintaining strong education and dependable police and fire. Ohio's politicians have ignored this crisis for too long. But Vivek Ramaswamy isn't a politician. He's an entrepreneur, and he's ready to fight for you. Ohio needs a leader who makes your life more affordable. That's Vivek Ramaswamy.
Lower costs, bigger paychecks, better schools. Vivek Ramaswamy for governor.
Paid for by Vivek Ramaswamy and Rob McCauley for Ohio.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Plenty of sunshine as we go into the day today, with highs getting in the mid to low 60s. And then for tonight, not as cold overnight with mostly clear skies and lows in the mid to upper 40s. For Thursday, we'll see more sunshine and breezy winds, and daytime highs soar in the mid to upper 70s. So get out there and enjoy the beautiful weather. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
All the Ohio State conversation you can handle. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Your Ohio State flagship station. The Fan. The uncle you never knew you had. The friends you kind of wish you didn't. This is Bishop and Friends.
I think hockey would be McDavid is what I'd go with. I was thinking about it. Give me McDavid.
I don't think you can go wrong with it.
Let's have some fun, man. Let's score 60 goals. Let's have some fun, man. All right, continue with the Hey Guys theme. Go ahead, Reese.
All right, so Ace in the YouTube chat has pick a relaxing weekend or pick death. He asks, pick one. A weekend of golf at Augusta with your Mount Rushmore of golfers, or a weekend with your favorite music group / band in any city.
I don't.
Like, could you survive the weekend with the band in any city?
Like hanging? Yeah, I mean, depending on the band. Might be pretty chill, depending. I mean, you're with Dave Matthews, you probably chill a little bit. That'd probably be a little bit easier.
Is that your favorite band?
Yeah, they were. Yeah. That's the one I listened to most through college and stuff. And we went, last time we went, it was up in the Cleveland area. Oh, what the hell's the name of that place? Blossom. Is that what it is?
Blossom Music Center?
Yeah. We were there, and this was about, 10 years ago, and it was just him and Tim Reynolds. They did an acoustic set that was ridiculous. So good. So, I think that probably travels a little bit. But, yeah, give me the weekend at Augusta. I think, or even around at Augusta, I think would be great on that with the people that I would want to play with the boy. I'd want to play with my boys is what I'd want to play with. I'd want to play with the three boys and go play it. That's how I'd do it.
So, at a previous job I had, I was lucky enough to hang out with some bands and even be in their dressing room after they played, drinking with them a little bit.
Baby.
So it wasn't a whole weekend, but I did get to have a couple of those interactions, so I would have to take the golf. Now, if we're going to do a Mount Rushmore of golfers, like who I would like to do, I'd like to be with my dad and have my grandpa's back and all of us go out there and play together. If we're having a Mount Rushmore of golfers, I think it's got to be Tiger, Jack, and then that third spot for me, would it be Greg Norman? Would it be Phil Mickelson? Would it be Bryson DeChambeau? I think all of those would be fascinating.
I mean,
Sergio
John Daly, wouldn't it?
Sergio, John Daly.
Wouldn't John Daly be the most fun? You'd need a little levity, I think, in all of this.
Yeah, but I feel like the awkwardness between Tiger and some of those others would also make it a little fun, too. So,
yeah, I wouldn't want any of that. I've had to hit golf balls in front of Jack Nicklaus. I don't ever want to do it again. I've had to play in front of Fred Couples and Davis Love. I don't ever want to do that again. So, no, I would want none of that. And I would probably go more like the Larry David route, like funny people that would be entertaining. And the one thing I will say, though, is like I think sometimes, and I do this, I think sometimes with golf, there's this feeling of, oh, I suck at it, so I'm not going to do that because I suck. A lot of people suck. A lot of people suck. When you play and you go see where balls are hit, when you go looking for your own, yours isn't the only one in there. There are mountains of balls in the place where you hit. So a lot of people suck. So it goes back to AR's line, and it's the best line ever. Be bad fast. Play bad fast. Just as long as you play fast, nobody cares. Nobody cares how bad you are as long as you play fast.
Bo, I think the first tee shot, you might have those nerves, but I think once you got into it a hole or two, it'd just be like playing with your friends.
Yeah.
You'd get to chatting, and you wouldn't think about it. I think you'd be all right.
Yeah, maybe a little of it. You'd have to see. What would be your bands for your answer to that? Like a weekend with a band, and what would be the location for the concert?
So the bands that I was thinking of, like they've just had several members go to rehab.
Well, that's fine.
So
this is a fantasy world.
I don't know what we're doing in that instance. And I don't know if I want any part of that.
Would you do Red Rocks? Would you do the Gorge? Like, where would you do the venue?
I like Red Rocks, but then we're going to hang out for the weekend in Vegas because that's not too far, right? So Red Rocks for the show.
I guess it's not too far, Bacon, that they're both the West.
Yeah, you can get there pretty quick, I think.
It's a long ways from Denver to Las Vegas. Long ways.
Like, I love Outkast, but I don't know if we'd do a weekend in Atlanta. Like, I don't think I could survive that.
You could not. You would not. No.
So two bands from my youth that I loved a lot, Pearl Jam and Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
I think Beastie Boys would probably have been the more fun to hang out. I'm a big 3 Days Grace fan. I think that would be a blast hanging out with those guys. So
Pearl Jam used to start every tour in Missoula, Montana, because Jeff Ament, the bassist, is from Big Sandy, Montana.
That's pretty cool.
They would used to start every world tour at Washington Grizzly Stadium in Missoula, and I was lucky enough to go to it once, and that was awesome. I was actually at the weekend that I was at Red Rocks, the famous. You guys are too young. Well, Bake's not too young, but Reese is probably too young. There's a famous Dave Matthews Live at Red Rocks tube disc set. And I was there that weekend, not the weekend that the CD is, not the concert the kids were seeing, but I saw Dave at Red Rocks there. That was pretty cool. Saw Pearl Jam at the Gorge, which is incredible. A lot of people don't know about the Gorge, but that's in eastern Washington. Stunning place.
With those, because I remember the old 2-discers that they would have the live performances. Do they go into those with the plan of we're recording all of this to release it? Or do they get done with the set and they go, this was awesome, let's sell this performance?
I don't know how they did it back then. Nowadays, everything's available. So it's, then it was kind of the only way that you could get it. I mean, that was mid-'90s when that came out.
And a heck of a weekend in my cousin's house listening to Pearl Jam's Yield when it came out and playing Tiger Woods golf on the computer. Parents were gone. Man, it was a fun time.
That's great. That's great.
All right, Jay's got this one in the YouTube chat. Hey, guys, who's the bigger team player, Jose Ramirez or Zach Werenski? He adds both are top 10 players in the league on mid-level teams and taking less pay than what they're worth.
It's Jose. I love Z, but it's Jose. I don't think it's particularly close.
This actually isn't close at all because Jose has twice now taken team-friendly deals to stay and play with the Guardians when he could have went and got a lot more money elsewhere. Z signed a long-term contract, but at the time, a lot of people thought it was an overpay. Now, it has turned out, and how contracts have gone now, it has turned out to be a good contract for the Columbus Blue Jackets, but a lot of people questioned it at the time, and if you remember, it was rumored that the Jackets were going to give that contract to Seth Jones, and Seth Jones decided not to stay here, and then they gave that contract to Zach Werenski to keep him to stay. So I love Zach, and Zach could be making a little more, and he's playing great. I think we didn't get to this early. His second consecutive season with 80 points. Only the fifth American-born defenseman to do that, and the third to do it in back-to-back seasons, Brian Leach and Phil Housley. Z is great, but Jose Ramirez is the ultimate team player.
Jose Ramirez is, $125 million.
Yeah.
Did it go up to 175?
No. I'm just saying, how much did he leave on the table?
Oh, yeah.
Is it $150 million he left on the table?
More.
Maybe more.
Probably,
I don't know.
Probably
I think more.
Yeah, probably around there in the two contracts.
Maybe 250.
Maybe $200 million he left on the table.
I'd like to party with Jose around downtown Cleveland. I don't know if he would.
Were you up there when they were doing the party at Napoli stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was in the World Series run.
Yeah.
Where's the place to party in Cleveland now? I know they had the Warehouse District and the Flats for a while. It was a long time ago.
Dude, I'm lucky to have a cocktail at night at my house.
I think most of the Flats have been turned to, day rave wub clubs. So I don't know if...
Jose might be living life in there.
He would. But
he might be getting a little old for it, too, right?
I was about to say, we're all kind of getting up there.
Yeah.
Day drink isn't the same as it used to be. Real quick, Connor asks, you're drafting a quarterback. Who in next year's draft class would you take over Mendoza?
When do you think we finally believe in Mendoza? He's going to go number one overall, and I still feel people but at best he's Kirk Cousins. It's what does it take for people to actually believe in the kid? So who would I take over him? The ones that most people are going to say that would go over them, number one would still be Arch. I think if Arch Manning was in this draft, he would probably go number one overall. And you can think I'm crazy all you want. You can say, God, I watched him. He couldn't throw the ball halfway through the SEC season. And you're right on that. But he played better down the stretch, and I think he would be someone who would go ahead of it. I'm not saying I would, but I think he would. And I think probably by the time we get to next year at this time, Dante Moore is going to be in that conversation, and Julian Sayin is going to be in that conversation. I think all three of those guys.
Dante Moore and Julian Sayin were the two that popped into my head right away. Now, they're both obviously not as tall as Fernando Mendoza. I have a sneaky suspicion. A lot of people have compared him to Kirk Cousins and things like that. I feel like coming out of college, and I know he won the national championship and he's going to go number one overall. I just feel the athletic ability and the awkwardness of him. And I'm not saying he's going to be this guy. He reminds me an awful lot of Tom Brady coming out of college.
Brady was a 6th-round pick, Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's just so strange to kind of elevate that well. And there's no conversation around them taking anybody other than him. It's done. They're taking him. That's it. A pretty special anniversary down in Augusta, Georgia this week. We will get into that. Maybe have a little fun with a little Masters pool of our own coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Want to start testosterone therapy? Go to Low T Center, the area's #1 TRT clinic for effective, custom testosterone covered by insurance. This month, get a free men's T test and discounts on peptides. Head to lowtcenter.com now and book your free test.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. As a longtime homeowner, I know how it goes when it comes to things that need to be fixed around the house and you just haven't gotten to them. Like maybe that leaky faucet that always has a drip. You think about it, but you never take care of it, and now it's just a part of the house. It's character. Maybe it's your windows that are always sticking and you can't get them open. So you just don't think about it. Who cares? Except now the weather's nice. You want to open the windows, and again, you can't because they're not fixed. Get new windows from Window Nation. They've made it easy to get top quality custom fit windows with their "the more you buy, the more you save" sale. You could save up to 50% off all your windows. Plus, you could get them with 0 interest for 5 years. Did you know investing in your home is actually one of the best investments you can make, especially in uncertain times? Experts report that windows retain 80% of their value. Energy efficient, beautiful windows from Window Nation with great deals going on now. Schedule your free consultation at windownation.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Columbus, Worthington, Air, and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
First Friday miracles are always better with Uncle Bo. This is Bishop and Friends.
40 years since the Golden Bear? Hard to believe. I remember it very, very little. I certainly was old enough to have a memory of it. I do remember the big deal of it. I remember having it on a little bit. I don't know that I understood the full scope of it until the following week's Sports Illustrated subscription issue showed up. And then I've said many times, that was kind of my view into the sports world as a little kid, was the Sports Illustrated subscription, and I got that, and he was on the cover the next week, and that was the one where I read that and I was like, oh my gosh, this is what all of this meant. I'm sure a great many of you of a certain age remember Jack winning at Augusta in '86 like it was yesterday. I'm sure of it, and I can't imagine what it was like around here 40 years ago and how improbable all of it was, and the fact that he got to win it one more time with Jackie Jr. on the bag and all of that stuff. I just think it's such a cool thing that I can't imagine what it was like around here. So there are going to be some stuff that they do to pay homage to this, including a special on Sunday. And Bake, you have a little excerpt, I believe.
Yeah, we've got that. Let me go pull it up. I didn't have it ready here.
Reese, you're too young. Have you ever, and Bake, you're too young too. You don't remember this, do you?
I vaguely remember it. I remember the images of Jack making the putt and all of that.
Yeah.
Like that's very early on. Here's Nance on that.
I had uttered the line when Jack knocked in his birdie putt that the bear has come out of hibernation. And I didn't know where that line had come from. I didn't have anything written down. I hadn't anything pre-planned. But it just kind of dropped out of the sky and into my head and left my lips. And as soon as I said it, I thought, where did I come up with that? Oh, I know. Someone on the broadcast, maybe it was Murphy down at 10 or Steve Melnick down at Amen Corner. Maybe someone else already said it. That's why it was fresh in my head. I just plagiarized someone else's remark. Not good. I'm never coming back here again. Anyway, as I'm walking back dejectedly, here comes a golf cart racing up to my side. It was Venturi. And Ken said, Jimmy, how old are you? And I said, I'm 26, sir. He said, I'm going to tell you something right now. You may one day be the first to ever broadcast this tournament 50 times, but you will never live to see a day greater than this around Augusta National. Well, that moment in that golf cart really kind of crystallized what my goals were going to be in my career. He made this outlandish prediction of 50 Masters. He called me Jimmy, which my close friends and family still do. That was always my name. My dad was Jim, Big Jim. And he was euphoric. It was very parental, made me feel good. And got back to the compound, and I saw Chirkinian. He came up and gave me an embrace and said I had done well. And I told him that I was feared I had maybe said something that had been used earlier in the broadcast. And he said, nope, only you, son, only you. You're going to be here for a long time.
His first Masters on the call was Jack in 86.
It's insane.
And he's called it 40 years in a row. And he's stated he wants to get to 50. So he wants to do it for 10 more years. He'll give up everything else before giving up this. We've seen with Vern Lundquist as well, who, despite giving up the college football on Saturday night, continued to do the Masters telecast until recent years. Famously, you remember Tiger going over behind the tree to like shake Vern's hand a couple of years ago for all of the years Vern was on the call. And of course, Vern is the yes sir, and he's in your life, all of that stuff. I mean, a lot of that stuff happened. Vern was always on 16. So that's where a lot of that stuff happens. So there's so many cool moments with all of that. 40 years. You imagine the nerves you'd have now. Me considerably older than that. You guys older than that as well. To like your first time you're calling the Masters at 26. That will never happen again.
There's no way.
It'll never happen again.
I mean, that's on a short list of major sporting events in North America. And to let a kid in his mid-20s, I mean, a kid in his mid-20s.
Yeah,
there's no way. I mean, Joe Buck, like the similar like trajectory for Joe Buck.
Yeah.
Like there's just, that's not going to happen ever again.
We talked a little bit yesterday about Noah Eagle. It'd have to be someone like him, right? And I don't even know how old he is right now, but he would have to get on the coverage now and work his way through.
Yes, it would be that. You need that. So you need to have the other thing both obviously Buck and Eagle have is a famous last name. So that lets you get in the door right away. Now, once you're there, you better be good, and both of them are. But Joe would be the first to tell you that if he doesn't get to where he is if he's not Jack Buck's kid to start. That's the jumping off point. Then once you're there, it's what do you do with it? Nance's is a little more... Nance's is pretty crazy. I just was looking this up. So I was curious, like, how did this happen that he landed this job? So he started as an anchor and sportscaster. So this is from somebody who knows local television. Pretty remarkable. His first job was at KHOU in Houston. So he went to the University of Houston. He gets to start in a top 10 market. Then he became the weekend sports anchor at KSL in Salt Lake City from 82 to 85. And in those days, when you had that job, he got to call BYU football and Utah Jazz games.
Oh, well, they were.
Yeah, I mean, they won a national championship during that time. That's Jim McMahon. That might be Steve Young, too, at BYU during that time. They won the national championship in that time. And then the Utah Jazz with Hot Rod Hundley, who's iconic. So you get kind of that experience as well. And then off of that, he become a studio host on college football and basketball coverage in 85. And then he anchored the Masters coverage. So he's anchored the CBS coverage of the Masters since 89 after Musburger, who had done it up until 1990. So his first Masters is 86, but he didn't start anchoring the coverage until 89. Man, that's something.
And had Vern in the booth with him, had Venturi for 18
Kenny
years.
Venturi, yeah.
Some great guys with him on those broadcasts, too.
Is it Immelman now, Bake?
Yeah, he's one of the guys that's in there.
He's in the booth with him. It was Kenny forever, and then Faldo was great. He had Faldo for a long time in the booth with him. I want to say there was another guy in between. AR's yelling at me. I can hear him, even though he's not in the room, but yelling at me about who it was. There was somebody else in between Faldo and Venturi who had that job.
I also forgot about this. So I have FanDuel via Amazon Prime, and the first and second rounds are going to be on Amazon.
Really?
I'm trying to think of because the Rory McIlroy the Masters Weight is available on Amazon right now.
Oh, that's where it is. Okay.
So Terry Gannon's going to host. You have Justin Kutcher, Greg Ogilvie, Smiley Kaufman. There's going to be coverage on Amazon with that Jack Nicklaus anniversary interview. They're inside Amen Corner all 4 days.
Huh. Well, that's pretty cool. And of course the Masters has their own, masters.org. You can watch it there as well. So in terms of the traditional coverage, if you want to watch it tomorrow, it'll be like, will they have the opening tee shots of Jack and all that tomorrow?
Doesn't look like it. Thursday starts at 1:00 for their coverage.
Okay, so then that will probably still be, those ceremonial shots you're going to have to get at masters.org probably. And then they usually have like the Amen Corner and the featured groups and that type of stuff. You guys got to remember, and a great many of you out there listening remember this, for the longest time, you only got to see the back nine at Augusta on the telecast. For the longest time, you would get a Saturday kind of highlight show. You'd see nothing Thursday or Friday, nothing. Then you'd get like a Saturday, and then Sunday it was just the back nine. It was a big deal when they all of a sudden started broadcasting the entire final round of the Masters.
Yeah, it's masters.com is the only masters.com and the Masters app is the only place to get the honorary ceremony.
And all that stuff you talked about, Reese, with FanDuel and Amazon, that was all ESPN Plus, right? The past couple of years, like they had the Amen Corner, and they had like you could go hole by hole and watch things.
You can still apparently do that on the ESPN app.
Okay.
So they're just expanding expanding coverage. Because CBS Sports Network, Paramount Plus, ESPN app, they've all got a different presentation of this, which has never been done before, I think, for an Augusta. I mean, I know when they expanded ESPN, that was big, but...
Dude, they're so protective. It was a massive deal. Do you guys remember when they first put it on the video game? Like there was a Tiger Woods video game where you could play the Masters?
I do not
play the
remember
course.
that.
This was like 12 years ago or something, I would say. The boys were very little. I was still playing quite a bit, maybe not even born. I was still playing quite a bit of video games. The first time they put the Augusta National Golf Club on the game, all the other courses you could play, they would give you a putting grid so you could kind of tell what the read was. At Augusta, there was no putting grid. All the other courses that you played, you could like spin the ball one way or another as you're seeing your shot to try to get it to spin the right way. At Augusta, as soon as you hit it, you had no control over it. They had their own set of rules. Here's the other thing. Like you'd create like a player. I'm just remembering all of this. You could create your own player and you'd have like endorsements that you would wear. So like you're a Nike player or whatever it may be. And you get to Augusta and you had to go back to like the base outfit. You couldn't have like your gear on. Like they had all these rules even within the game for how to behave at Augusta National. It truly is
That's
unlike
different.
anything.
It's just different.
That's why Bryson's trying to figure out how the wind blows on these holes and how the club goes through the grass and everything.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care, man. We're going to do it our way. Either like it or fine. Don't come. Don't watch. We don't care. Get your officially endorsed in 3 things coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction or your money back. File in the Credit Karma app.
This Ohio State football spring practice report is brought to you locally on The Fan by Roosters and by your Ohio Kubota dealers.
Ohio State football spring practice report.
Ohio State enters 2026 with one of the most veteran-laden offensive lines in college football, returning over 3,700 snaps from last season. While 4 of last year's 5 starters up front are back, head coach Ryan Day likes the depth in the O-line room.
We're moving guys around. We're seeing some guys do some good things. Ian Moore has done some really good things so far this spring. There's consistent play right there from Carson, Luke, and then Austin, Luke, and Carson. All 3 of those guys are doing good. Phil's been solid. And so now, all right, who's taking the next step? Ian, Gabe Van Sickle, Jake Cook, Carter Lowe. I mean, these guys all got to take the next step. They're all working at it. We are trying a couple different combinations. Josh Padilla, is out for the spring, so we'll get him back in the summer. But it's allowed an opportunity for some guys to step in there and do some different things.
This report was brought to you by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center and by Weber Grills. I'm Tyler Danberg on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
Buckeye fans, game day just got hotter. Whether you're parking the shoe lot or grilling at home, it's not a tailgate without Weber Grill's Traveler Grill. Fires fast, folds flat, fits compact, and delivers championship flavor every time. Burgers, brats, steaks, even rival fans agree. Bring the taste of victory wherever you grill. The Weber Traveler Grill. Tailgate tough. Buckeye proud. Weber Grills. Taste the tradition. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Nobody has more all-wheel drive or electrified hybrid choices than Toyota. Like the all-new, all-hybrid Toyota RAV4. Now through May 4th, get 4.99 APR financing on a new 26 RAV4. Or lease a well-equipped RAV4 LE for just $299 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Come into your local AAA Tire and Auto Service and save $15 on any oil change. Offer includes a free tire rotation, and you'll earn $7 toward your next service with Duramax dollars. Offer ends April 30th. See store for details.
As the seasons change, it's time to prep your HVAC system with a $49 seasonal tune-up from Columbus Worthington Air. A seasonal tune-up can help save money on your energy bill and help prevent expensive breakdowns. As your local home service experts, everything we do is backed by our exceptional service guarantee. It all adds up to dependable service from neighbors you trust. Columbus Worthington Air and Bryant Heating and Cooling. Whatever it takes. Visit cwaohio.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 47543.
For more than 25 years, Brothers Roofing and Construction has been serving Central Ohio with dependable roofing, siding, and exterior repairs. We do the job right the first time. So if quality matters to you, visit brothersroofingconstruction.com.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
If you say something with enough confidence, it must be true. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, Reese, what do you have on the poll today?
The Daily Fan Poll sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub. If Fernando Mendoza plays at a Matt Ryan-like level in his NFL career, would you consider that to be a successful number one overall pick for the Las Vegas Raiders? 69% say yes.
Yeah.
The rest of you, I don't know what else you'd like.
Matt Ryan won an MVP and took a team to a Super Bowl with a 28-3 lead in the fourth quarter, and his defense couldn't hold it, and his offensive coordinator wouldn't run the ball. But he should have been a Super Bowl champion, and he was an MVP of the league. You think that that is anything other than a stunning success with the number one overall pick? Do yourself a favor. Go look at the number one overall picks over the last 15 years. Tell him anyone could match that.
So my guess is the no would be he has to win a Super Bowl to make good on being the number one overall pick. How often has that ever happened?
That's all that matters now, guys. Winning it all. It's the only thing that...
nonsense. Who would that apply to then in the last 15 years? Who went number one overall?
Nobody.
Who's the last number one overall quarterback to win a Super Bowl?
Is it Manning?
The Mannings both did it. Eli and Peyton both went number one overall.
So it'd be Eli.
Is Eli the most recent number one pick quarterback?
It would have to be a Manning, but if we're going 15 years, we're pushing it because, you know, it's 2026.
All right, I just want to make sure I'm right about this. I feel like I must be missing somebody here. So, Stafford. But he didn't do it with the team that drafted him. So Stafford did that.
And it took a long time.
Yeah, Stafford did that. The other quarterbacks number one overall, Sam Bradford, Cam Newton won an MVP, certainly not a bust. Jared Goff, Jared Goff is not a bust.
Okay, so anyway, because the Rams would consider that a success because they got a Super Bowl out of it, and Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Burrow
played and won. Jeez. All right, time for your officially endorsed. Hit it, guys.
Bishop and Friends present First Friday, officially endorsed, because everyone deserves 2 Fridays.
You drink for the wrong reasons.
My generation, we drink because it's good. Because it feels better than unbuttoning your collar. Because we deserve it. We drink because it's what men do.
Now, we're going to pay homage to the great folks at Augusta National. We're going to go with the Azalea as your officially endorsed. The cool thing about this one is you can make this for you and for your kids as you're enjoying the Masters this weekend. It's a delicious and a delight for them. Bootsy approved for sure. Here's what it is. The Azalea is 3 ounces of vodka of your choosing. I will go High Bank vodka in this one. I think it's the best, cleanest. That's not just me. That's San Francisco World Spirits Competition. So I'm going to go High Bank vodka, 3 ounces of that, 8 ounces of lemonade, and then a ½ ounce of grenadine, and away you go. But you can just do the lemonade and the grenadine for the kids, and then they win too, and they feel cool.
For the kids or Tyvus.
Or Tyvus. He would like it as well. Ideal if you can get some of that Sonic ice. Now you're really talking. That's what you want to. You get that chewy ice. Now you're winning in a big way. But that's your officially endorsed on this Masters Eve version of your First Friday. Time for 3 things, guys.
1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, number 1 for me, latest example of I've gotten old. I saw here in the last couple of minutes that R.J. Day received an offer to play quarterback at USF from Brian Hartline. And if you told me that 10 years ago, I'd have said, what? What's happening here?
You said a lot
Good for
there.
all parties involved. Very cool.
So we have the basketball transfer portal open in college hoops. Men's opened yesterday. April 20th is the day the portal closes, but that doesn't necessarily mean players will have found a landing spot, because I haven't even looked at the numbers for it, but 1,500 I think was the number last year, so expect this year to eclipse that. 11 Warriors has a couple of things. Florida Atlantic guard Devin Vanterpool is the first player to schedule an official meeting with Ohio State since the portal is open. 6'4", 175-pound guard. He appeared in 54 games over 2 seasons at Florida Atlantic, 15.8 points per game. It's a good start. You've also got a depth guard. And then I saw this on Twitter. Colorado guard Isaiah Johnson, who I believe is a freshman, has a Zoom meeting reportedly scheduled with the coaching staff. So good on Jake Diebler and company for doing that due diligence as soon as the gun sounded.
Yeah, you got to go.
I saw that too. I also saw that freshman point guard from Penn State, Caden Mingo, is in the transfer portal, and that's someone Ohio State has gotten quite a few players from Penn State the past couple years. So
yeah,
I don't know. I saw this. The Washington Capitals, they are about to unleash the largest line in NHL history tonight.
Okay.
Alexei Protas is going to be one of the wingers. He's a 6'6", 250-pounder. His brother Ilya, he's going to center the line at 6'6", 225 pounds. And everybody's favorite agitator, Tom Wilson, will be at right wing at 6'4", 225 pounds.
Holy cow.
Look out, Maple Leafs.
What was the Lindros line had a nickname to it? The LOD line?
The Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
With him and John LeClaire.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember who the other one was.
They weren't that big.
They're not that big. No, not at all. Number 2 for me, talked with all the boys, and certainly NBC is his 8th grade season is coming to an end, and high school will be here before it. So we had a little conversation about, look, like if you want to try to play sports in college or whatever, like now's the time where we probably need to amp it up a little bit if that's something that you want. I don't care if you do or not, but if you want to, now's probably time. So we had this talk last night about putting your best foot forward on all of the things that you do. And so this morning, I hear the door open at 5:45. And I think I hear the door, but I'm honestly not caring enough to really investigate. So I get up, as I always do, at 6, and I look outside, and the kid is banging lacrosse balls at 5:45 in the morning.
There you go.
Dude, I'm not sure if this is what I meant by this. Maybe we don't wake up the whole neighborhood banging lacrosse balls at 5:45 in the morning. Maybe wait till 6:15 on that. But good on you, bud.
I had to give a good on you, bud, to Gino Auriemma. I mean, it took a couple of days, but he finally just apologized to Don Staley. I guess this is his second statement in 4 days. If you do it once correctly, you don't have to do it again. But I'm sorry, Don Staley, is really the only thing you need to do with all of that. Because everybody else, we don't care.
No.
Like it was stupid of you to do it, but you apologized to the only person that matters, and that was Don Staley in this instance.
So the Big Ten may be beating the SEC on the court or on the field, but the SEC still wins it in the media. Their media days are not happening till July 20th through July 23rd, but we already have the schedule of coaches that will be talking during those media days down in Tampa. Paul Feinbaum's already putting out schedules of who's going to be on his show and when. Tony Petitti, Big Ten.
Let's go.
Take notes.
Come on. Do those things right, man. Number 3 for me really quickly tonight. I have this note that's sitting on my desk that I have to fill out and write a letter to Bootsy. It's for encouragement in the Ohio State testing stuff, which they have to do next week, which is a complete drag. And I'm like, I don't know why we have to do this and make it into such a big deal. Like, is this actually helping him in any sort of pursuit of life, like how he does on a standardized test and as a 10-year-old?
I think of the movie Couples Retreat with the yoga instructor. Yeah. Encouragement.
You did the thing with your mom and I are getting a divorce, and I'll make this my third and final thing. Take the piece of paper, get the biggest red ink marker you can, and just write, "You can be traded."
It's a big First Friday coming up for Rothman and Ice. They'll have Adam Schefter on at 12:30. Dave Shedlowski from down at Augusta at 2, and Dante Fabro, a little Hockey and Hounds, at 2:30.
You have that to look forward to, which is nice. It's a First Friday. Make sure you act accordingly out there. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio